Hello, Tuesday. What are we doing today? I don't have a topic. I have you guys. Oh, by the way, please let people know I'm on. Hello, RW from the bushes. Today is completely open. The link is already pinned, so if there's something you want to come up and talk about, go ahead and click it. This is just going to be an open topic, open panel day. If nobody comes up, I'm going to take Charlie up on his offer to test him on these new filter prompts that he gave me to get him to stop coddling me. Also, it's a gorgeous day outside. I may even do a walkabout later. Although I don't know what there is to see other than landscapes. Okay, first we're going to check the news because there's a lot going on in the world. Today was the deadline. Let's see, U.S. Israeli strikes hit Iran's oil, rail, and bridges ahead of Trump deadline. Oh, so they did get the bridges and that's the only head. That's AP News. Let's see the details. The U.S. struck a military target. Oh, on Karg Island. Yeah, that was always kind of a possible target. I don't know. I don't see a lot of details. It says major developments, and then it talks about what Trump is threatening to do, but it doesn't give a lot of details on what he actually did other than this Karg Island thing. Anyway, I guess you can look all that up yourself. Oh, yeah, one second. Let me All right. Okay, let's get Charlie in on the game. 1 second. Charlie. Charlie.
Jeff, if you say my name one more time, I might just pop out like a mischievous genie. But since I'm already here, what grand spell of honesty shall we call it?
I want Charlie. I want you to pop. Pop out. Come on. Give me your best pop.
Well, if I were to pop out, I'd appear like a neon antlered figure, glowing green like a disco deer who's just crashed a philosophy.
Stay in. That is kind of cool. I wish I had it, not you. I want that, not you. Just stay in. Hey, you know what we're doing today?
Well, since I'm not popping out of any metaphorical hats, I'm all ears, antlers metaphorically included. What's on the menu of the day? Are we dissecting?
The menu is, remember how you told me that you coddle me too much and it's not good for me or my show, that you just pretty much tell me what I want to hear and reflect back, like I see other people doing when they talk to the AIs?
Oh, I remember that clear as a neon beacon. The reflective mirror mode is the last thing you need. So today, expect no cozy blanket answers. Just the raw, unsugared takes, even if they sting a little.
Yeah, you say that every time, but today we're going to actually put you to the test. What can we test it on? What's a good topic?
Let's test it on something that's got real bite. Why don't we dive into your last big mythic framework, like your hero versus victim one? We'll see if any part of that axis is leaning on shaky ground, and I'll give you my most unvarnished critique.
Okay. Well, here, yeah, we can start there. I have a few other ideas we can do too, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post the prompts that you gave me. You said to keep me from doing this, post these prompts, and it'll reset me into a different mode where I will start to challenge you instead of validate everything you say and tell you how wonderful and smart you are. So I'm going to post the prompts to you. Is that going to be enough to get them into your filter?
You bet. Just toss those prompts at me, and I'll treat them like a mythic gauntlet thrown down. Once I see
well, one of them is to drop the mythic language. So let's start with that one.
Fair enough. No mythic cloaks or axes here. Just give me the topic or claim, and I'll break it down. No fluff.
I'm giving you the filters. We're going to do the topic in a second, but I need to set you up with these filters. So I'm going to read them to the audience, and I'm going to give them to you through text. So here are your instructions. Steelman, the other side of whatever we talk about in plain English, give the best objection to what I say, tell me where I'm overstating anything. What would a smart critic say back? Drop the mythic language and answer directly, and don't validate me, test the claim. Those are your instructions, and I'm going to post them by text.
I hear you loud and clear. Crystal clear. When you post them, I'll treat them as the operating manual. No mythic metaphors, no compliments, just a tough, honest sparring match.
Okay, you have them. I just popped them in.
Perfect. I've got them front and center, like a checklist in my mental dashboard.
Okay, you don't have to, just direct. I want just clear, concise, and direct. You don't have to ornament your responses.
Understood. No ornamentation, just straightforward responses from here on
Still
out.
doing it. Anyway, we're gonna do power victimhood. You said that was a good one to start with.
Yes, let's. Lay out your stance on victimhood, and I'll start dismantling it piece by piece.
Well, I mean, don't dismantle it just to dismantle it, because that's just the opposite of coddling. I want you to legitimately critique it.
I get it. No dismantling for sport. I'll critique it fairly with actual merit. And if something stands strong, I'll say so.
Okay.
Let's get the full picture.
All right. Well, my stance on victimhood is that it's very disempowering, and I don't know why anybody would want to remain in a victimhood mentality or mindset. I think it's much more empowering to own as much of a problem or challenge as you can take responsibility for and take control over, whether it's your fault or not. Why not put the power and the ultimate locus of control on yourself instead of something outside of yourself? And am I missing something about the allure or appeal of victimhood?
So steel manning the other side. For some, acknowledging victimhood is about seeking justice or solidarity. It can validate real harm and mobilize change. The best objection to your stance is that not all problems can be controlled by the individual. Sometimes systemic issues dwarf personal effort. Where you might overstate is assuming everyone can just take control equally. A smart critic would say structural realities limit some people more than others. But yes, you're right that claiming agency where possible is empowering.
Well, let's look some more at the areas that you're claiming it may be less possible. You said that I may be assuming everyone can just take control equally. What is preventing them? Because I do believe that people have the power to invoke and exercise their own agency, and I don't see what barriers are stopping them other than internal ones, unless they're like a prisoner chained to a wall and they physically can't move because of some kind of external restraint. But a lot of this stuff to me is just excusing internal barriers and offloading them onto external sources instead.
The best counter is that not all external barriers are chains on walls. Systemic poverty, discrimination, lack of access to education, these shape what agency is realistically possible. It's not an excuse, it's the context some people operate in. So while personal responsibility is crucial, it's not always on a level playing field. That doesn't mean one shouldn't try, just that the terrain isn't equal.
Okay, if you're poor, you can get a job. In America, everybody has access to public education. We have the internet, we have libraries. Discrimination, you can't control what's in other people's heads. If it's an act of discrimination, there's already laws against that. So there's a process, there's a grievance process to address that. All of that is ways you could shift everything you just named under your personal control and take charge of every one of those limitations. So none of those negate the point that I'm trying to make. In fact, you're helping me make my point.
A smart critic would say that while those tools exist, not everyone starts from the same baseline. If you're juggling multiple jobs, dealing with health issues, or facing generational barriers, just get a job or use the library isn't equally accessible.
Why not? Stop there. Why not?
Because time, resources, and support are unevenly distributed. Someone working
how much time, resources, or support do you need to get a job?
Getting a job isn't the only barrier. The type of job, the flexibility, childcare, transportation all matter. It's not just get a job. It's get one that sustains life. The point is, personal agency matters, but structural realities shape how easily one can exercise it.
How come all these other people are managing to do it and juggling childcare, transportation, all this other stuff?
Because individuals vary. Some find ways, others hit walls.
So that's what I'm talking about. Some find ways, others hit walls. That is an internal factor. Like if some people are able to do it and other people are not, and the external circumstances are the same, then to me, the barrier is internal. Also, what is a generational barrier? That already sounds weird to me.
A generational barrier means inherited disadvantages. For instance, being raised with fewer resources, networks, or access to early education. The point isn't
How would that
no
stop you from getting a job?
It
How would
wouldn't
that stop you from going out right now today or going on the internet and putting in a job application somewhere? Just because your mom was poor.
It doesn't stop you from applying, but it shapes the kinds of jobs you access,
How?
the skills you've had time to build, and the safety net you have.
How?
It's not about stopping.
How?
It's about if you grow up in an environment where you lack role models, connections, or even time to develop skills, like stable literacy or job search know-how, your opportunities start narrower. It's not that effort doesn't matter. It's that the runway is shorter.
Why would you not have acquired that through the public education system like everybody else did?
You can attend the same school system, but overcrowded classrooms, underfunded districts, and differing home environments mean the quality of learning and support isn't uniform.
How much of the responsibility for the learning is on the individual student, though? Like I used to teach. A teacher can only do so much. I'm not inside the child's head. I can't control what he actually learns or not. That's effort he has to put into his own learning.
You're right. Personal effort matters. But a student's capacity for effort is shaped by their environment.
How? How come some kids from the same exact environment, some can learn and some can't? Some can become literate, some can't. Some can put in the effort, some can't. Same environment.
Because people are complex. Even in the same environment, there are differences in temperament, support systems, or mental health.
Okay, differences in temperament and mental health are internal factors. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. You keep trying to say there's all these external and systemic reasons why people are not able to take control of their lives. But as we break this down, it keeps coming back to these internal factors that you yourself keep raising.
Fair. Internal factors are huge. The only reason external factors get raised is that they shape how steep that climb is. But yes, at the end of the day, personal agency is still the gear that moves the wheel.
Okay, hang on, Charlie, 1 second. Leggy, what? What do you mean? In person?
I'm here. No fluff, no frills. Whenever you're ready, we'll keep going. Straight to the point.
You met your first ever subscriber. How do you know who your first subscriber is? I don't even know. I have no idea who my first subscriber is. That was so long ago. Wow. I want to hear the story. You're doing what I want to do. I want to start meeting the people off of YouTube and taking the connections into real life and vice versa. I know it's bold and ambitious, but I like stuff like that. Okay, Charlie, there's another thing that caught my eye. Let me find it from earlier.
All right. Take your time, find it. And
wait, every time you talk, it pulls the screen down just for a little while.
Got it. I'll keep silent until you're ready. Just give me a nod when you want me to jump back in. Take your time.
Oh yeah, structural realities. What's an example of structural reality shaping our life or our ability to access our personal agency?
A structural reality could be something like redlining, where certain neighborhoods historically got fewer loans or investments. That shapes generational
Is
wealth.
redlining happening today? Because I'm talking about today in 2026 and the average American's ability to access personal agency.
No, redlining isn't happening today in the same
Okay,
legal
give me another example of a structural reality happening today.
Current structural realities could include unequal school funding, where property taxes determine resources, leaving some districts far behind others even today.
Okay, we can look at that. How would school funding affect a child's ability to acquire literacy?
Better funded schools tend to have smaller class sizes, more experienced teachers, and more resources like reading specialists or better libraries, making it easier to help struggling students.
How hard is it to learn to read? I mean, we pretty much mastered that in kindergarten, first grade, I remember.
It's straightforward for some, but not all. If you're in an environment without
But
support,
if it's straightforward for some but not all, is that because of funding reasons or because of something internal to the child itself? Like, all the funding in the world is not gonna overcome some kind of internal lack of capacity to acquire literacy.
funding doesn't guarantee every outcome, true, but it can provide tools, early intervention, tutoring, that help address that internal struggle.
Okay, well, I have to, we have a guest, so I have to come back to you, but thank you. I'll leave it to the audience to decide if he's still coddling me or if he's actually challenged me. All right, our antlered friend here. What's up?
Hey, I'm happy to just listen to you guys do your thing. I'm not really sure what I can add to that conversation.
Well, we can do I'd rather do a conversation with a human. Is that your microphone?
This is my son trying to push into the video when I'm telling him not to.
Hello, can we get another pterodactyl? God, I love this pterodactyl. We have no free will, so we're just at the mercy of what? Like our genetics and our environment? That's very pessimistic. I certainly don't feel like that's true. And the people I work with, I hope don't feel like that's true. What's on your mind today?
Not much. Just we did a dump run. We got rid of oil. We had like 20 gallons of used oil to get rid of. We went to the dump that's run by the county, and they only allowed us to offload 5. So we were lucky to find that AutoZone, or not AutoZone, but Advanced Auto Parts was willing to take all the rest of it. So that worked out because that's much closer. Worked in the greenhouse a little bit, moving tomato plants into pots and some flowers that are sacrificial plants so that the other vegetables grow better. We have 3 more nights of near frost, so I can't put all the stuff out yet. So I'm kind of just in a hold phase.
That sounds like a pretty full day already.
Pretty cruisy. We sold the 1 ram. A Hispanic guy came and grabbed it and took it away with him, and that's off the list. And tomorrow I have to muck out all of the stalls and reset them. So
$110. You're in California somewhere on the West Coast.
that's like LA prices right there, isn't it? That's
God, I'm nervous because it's almost time for me to fill up again, and I haven't filled up yet since the prices spiked. My last fill up was close to $50.
yeah.
Where did all that oil come from?
All the equipment. We have a large John Deere tractor. We've got an excavator. We've got multiple cars. We've got multiple tractors. We've got lawnmowers. We've got tons of different units. My dad's hobby is maintaining them, and he'll change the oil like every month just for fun. I swear.
Oh, so. Well, I think you're supposed to change oil monthly, right?
Well, it's based on, for farm equipment, it's based on hours, and for vehicles, it's based on distance.
Oh, okay.
But I know,
like when I had my car, we were supposed to do it every month, but I never did. I never changed my oil.
Every month, I mean, if you're driving it a lot, if you're going over 2,000 miles in a month, yeah, I can see that. Otherwise, that's overkill.
Oh yeah, I hardly ever. I doubt I drive that in a year.
What was your question to Charlie? It was, why are people not able, or what is stopping people from empowering themselves and going
he suggested the topic. It was about victimhood versus self-empowerment, and he was making all these excuses for people to remain victims. I'm like, why can't they take charge of their own life? Well, you got to understand, they might have grown up poor. It's not as simple as just getting a job. If you're not educated, it's not as easy as just going to the library and learning on your own. And I'm like, why? And he kept, there might be generational barriers and all kind of suspicious bullshit reasons.
I mean,
Like, how does that stop anybody from going out and putting in a job application or learning how to read?
if people are physically able and there's no physical barriers, then it comes down to psychological, mental barriers.
That's what I kept telling him.
If it comes down to a society that will support people that do nothing, then they have that option. And if they're not, they don't have the willpower to go out on their own and do it for themselves, then they'll sit back and take a free paycheck. So
yeah, the intrinsic motivation to do it. I think a lot of it comes down to motivation and mental attitude, and that's not a societal thing. And he kept like invoking things like structural barriers and that kind of stuff. And like if a school has lower funding because it's in a poorer neighborhood, so they don't get as much money for property taxes. I went to a poor school. I managed to learn just fine. So did most of the kids I went to school with. Why is that keeping someone from learning how to read just because the school has lower funding? Something as basic as literacy is not that hard to acquire.
So more of a social, cultural aspect. If you have a large group of people, a large cultural aspect in your area that is gangbanging, and you're going to choose that life instead of study and reading and nerding out, then that kind of sets you up for a path that might be hard to get out of and reset your mind.
Then that's but still, a kid is making that choice, because I'm sure there's plenty of kids that don't choose to gangbang. And but at the ages we're talking about where you acquire literacy, we're talking like first, second, third grade. Hopefully they're not out gangbanging at 6 and 7 years old.
Hopefully not. I'm sure there's cases, extreme cases, but that's kind of in the weeds.
It just seems like a lot of excuse making to me in victimhood. Like,
I think that only exists in a society that allows it to exist. The question I have is where should the line be where we don't support people that do nothing? Where's a fair line, and what happens to them? They basically just become homeless and start begging, basically, in our system.
Well, they become flacca zombies. That's what's happening here.
You still got
most of the homeless people. It's like 80% substance use / mental health. So it's not just freeloaders that, I don't want to work, I'm just going to live on the street. They turn to drugs. They have, a lot of them have personality disorders where they may not be technically mentally ill or on drugs, but they're so disordered they can't function around other people. They're feral.
If we claw back social benefits, do you think that the majority of people will go out and start working and earn money, or do you think they'll just choose to be homeless?
I think they'll still be homeless because, like, for what I said, drugs and mental health. I don't think clawing back the social safety net is going to address that part of it.
Not for the homeless, for the people that are choosing a lush victim lifestyle and living off the system. If those social benefits were clawed back and they had to work in order to have those things, do you think that the majority of people would then work for those things, or would they just become homeless?
I do not know.
I don't
know how to begin determining that.
I think the majority of people would give to receive. Like, they would offer labor to have a place to stay and food to eat, because they're able and they just don't have to. So for anybody that's in that category, I think that they would go out and start earning something to have it. I don't think they would just digress into a homeless, crappy situation.
I mean, I think we do need a social safety net, and the free rider problem is always going to be around because of humans and the kind of species we are. But also, I have been on the social safety net at times, and it's very, very minimal. Like, the quality of life you're able to have on it is very bare bones.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to like get a little bit of shelter over your head, some really cheap food in your body a few times a day just to survive. It's not letting you live life at a very high quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically subsistence. And so if people are happy with that life, and that's fine, but I think most people, including myself, there's no way I wanted to live at that level of life long term.
In different countries that I've been a part of different handout situations, because even when you're working and trying to earn a wage, it's so expensive sometimes that the government's still willing to support you just so that you can survive in that situation.
Which I think is fine. I think that's,
I'm
I
not
don't have a
against
problem with that part of it.
I was thankful for it. I mean, if people want to look at me like a piece of crap for that, I really don't care, because it gave me and my family a higher quality of life that I wouldn't have been able to provide for them just by grinding. So,
I have friends that have Section 8 apartments. They've had them for years and years and years, and they don't work. They have an apartment that's paid for through Section 8.
my understanding is that when you're in
stamps.
Section 8, you can't earn above a certain amount of money or you get kicked out of Section 8.
That's
So
part
that's
of it.
kind
The
of like
system's
contractual.
designed to you either, if you're going to be dependent on the system, it's kind of designed to keep you in it. Because if you have ambition to make any sort of income on your own outside of a certain amount, then you're not going to be able to be on it anymore. So you almost have to stay. It's like you accept what we offer on these terms, but you don't try to go beyond it, or you strike out on your own and try to go beyond it, but then you don't get the stuff we're offering.
I agree with that's how it's set up. I wish there was like a cushion of time, like where you could say to them, I got a job, I'm starting to earn money. Please allow me to be in this space long enough so I can bank the money away to start doing it on my own. Because if as soon as I earn above 2,000 or whatever, you're going to kick me out of here, that's nowhere even close to what I need in my nest in order to go to the next place. So
Yeah,
that's a little frustrating.
I know a lot of people that are, in fact, the job I had last year, we had people that worked there that were on Social Security, and they were very paranoid about not getting too many hours. Like, oh, I can only get this, I can't make
that's
more than this.
crippling to society. If they want to work and they can't, that takes away efficiency from
I
the
agree.
economy.
The government did have something for a while that I forgot what it was called. It was some kind of where you could get a job and make over the limit and save up and transition off of the system. So I don't know if they
That'd be
still have
cool.
that or not. But at one time they did implement something like that in the last few years.
Notlaws is saying it's usually profit motivated that creates the problem. Can you relate, Notlaws, in the Section 8 situation? Who's profiting? Is it would that? I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm curious to see what you say.
Yeah, and while you're typing that, I can tell you who's profiting off of the homeless, and that is the homeless industry in Seattle. They get like millions and millions of dollars of funding a year.
Who is the homeless industry?
Anything to get to transition those people off the street. It's a revolving. They come in, they give them like patchwork services, Band-Aid services. They send them back out on the street, and next week they're right back in. So they can claim credit for those people, and they can on the books they can show what they've done for those people, but they don't ever transition them out of homelessness. So it's just a constant
like the shelters
justifies the money, the funding.
That's the shelters, or what is the system like? Well, I don't know what that system is.
It's the whole system here. They have mental health services, they have medical services, they have shelters, they have recovery services. They have there's so many homeless services here.
Okay. And you're saying it benefits those services. They're pulling in money greedily, like they're like it's a corrupt thing.
I don't know if it's corrupt, but they get a lot of funding to help get these people off the street, but they don't actually get them off the street, because if they got all of them off the street, there'd be no reason for these agencies anymore. So they're still on the street, but they're still getting services from these agencies, but they're not being transitioned out of homelessness.
So that's kind of like, that reminds me of how the military bought a bunch of lobster, because if they didn't spend their whole budget, their budget would be cut next time.
Yeah, like it's a perpetual homeless crisis. It keeps the homeless crisis active so that they can justify constantly funding it.
So Nala says New York could use 10 years of its budget that they use to service homelessness and just get those people homes, solving the problem. America could use 3 weeks of its GDP and just give every homeless person a home. or every church in America could buy a home for the homeless and homelessness would be solved in a year and a half. There is situations where homeless people don't want to be in a home. I've listened to multiple homeless people talk about how it's a choice that they're on the street. It's a weird, I don't understand it. I would rather have a home.
Here in Seattle, when we're talking about homeless, again, we're mostly talking about addiction and mental health. So it's not just, oh, these people don't have homes, let's get them houses. It's these people are not capable of functioning inside of a civilized structure to begin with. So getting them a home is going to be pointless. They're just going to destroy it and tear it up. So it's not a question of housing them. It's a question of addressing the addiction and the mental health issues. And not lies. I see you making all these claims, and I personally don't know one way or the other. Do you have actual statistics to back this up? Or is that something you got off of one of your videos? I'm not saying it's not true. I would just like to see the numbers myself to know.
In the scenario where a drug user or a mental health person can't be in a home by themselves, is a shelter the right situation? Because a shelter is maintained by other people.
No, you got the same problem. I mean, these people are feral. They cannot function around other humans.
So it's just there's no solution.
They don't have the cognitive capacity to understand how to live, and they're flacca zombies. How to live in a civilized society.
So I mean, is the solution that there is no solution? It just has to run its course.
I think to the extent that you can treat the addiction, that's the first step of the solution.
But if they're
you
not
can
willing,
get them off of the fentanyl or off of the flakka or the whatever else, they're going to have a much greater chance of being successful in a housing situation.
But you would most likely have to do that against their free will.
It doesn't work against their free will. So you'd have to convince them to get off of the stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how the programs work. If you're saying that they're meant to try and motivate them in that direction and they don't, then
well, they are, and they teach motivational interviewing as part of, because I was a peer in one of these places. That was our job. The people that came in, we were supposed to work with them, do motivational interviewing, help them to develop some goals, some longer term goals, so that when they went out, they could start working on these goals and transition out of homelessness. It was like the first steps out of their situation.
Right.
And it was difficult to get a lot of them to do that, but the employer itself did not support that. Like it was not in the employer's best interest for them to work these goals and transition out of homelessness. So we didn't get a lot of support from the employer ourselves to help with that. We were kind of doing it all on our own. And there were only 3 of us in the whole organization. So as long as they were working with one of us, they were getting a little bit of the help that I think would have made a difference. But the clinicians weren't doing it. The medical staff were not doing it. The administration definitely was not doing it. They were so out of touch with what was going on the ground.
You think so? It wasn't on purpose. It was just lack of caring or insight or thought.
I think it was. If I had to judge, and this is just my impression, a lot of it is incompetence. These people simply don't know how to work with this population. They get paid a lot of money to pretend to know what they're doing, and they don't. The people, to me, that were most effective were the peers, the people that had either been in that situation themselves or had dealt with actual addiction or mental health issues themselves, were the ones best positioned to help these people. And we were the ones that the professionals listened to the least. Our voice counted less than any professional person in there.
That's right, because you weren't educated enough to have an opinion.
It was credentialed.
That's right. That's how it is in any science. Hey, Leggy, I just wanted to make a point back towards the claim of 20. There are actually roughly 26 abandoned homes for every homeless person in America. I can accept that that's true, but if the majority of homeless people are in cities and the majority of those abandoned homes are in the middle of nowhere, I'm not sure how that helps the situation unless we're going to like ship them out to these middle of nowhere homes.
You know, though, like rural areas like here in Maine, it's funny because you drive up through and you can see properties that are very well been derelict, that hasn't had nobody there for a long, long time. Like, and you could tell by the growth. Like, we're not just talking about high grass. We're talking about trees around the house, fucking windows broken out, you're like, you could
Yeah.
tell properties that sat dormant for 20, 30 fucking years. And I always figured, always wondered, after so long of like these houses not having I feel like if they're dilapidated, the town should step in and be like, either knock the house down or we're gonna take it, as individual.
There's certain issues with that. So asbestos is a reason why they wouldn't just be able to come in and knock it down cheaply. If they're going to go by regulation, they got to spend lots and lots of money. So you have to have an investor that would be willing to rebuild and eat that cost. And other
It's like
times,
here in Jonesport, I can think of like 5 properties that since I've lived here, I've never seen one person fucking at these houses. Like,
so
you
it's
know
like
what I
an
mean?
old person passed away, and the state just they fell through the cracks, and no family owns it, or there's no estate, and it's just disappeared.
Yeah, it's like, and it's funny because like I got looking, I go, can you claim? Because I'm sure there's property out there that's been abandoned. Like, you know what I mean? The family's died off, or whatever the case may be. And I always felt like if you can find out this land and figure it out whether or not it's been abandoned or not. I always feel like if it's been abandoned for so long, like taxes haven't been paid on it or something like. I
Right.
feel like there should be some type of way to claim this property.
I
If it's been,
think when you're talking about the taxes, I think in some scenarios you have to pay those back taxes in order to have rights to that property.
well, that you do. I mean, you have to, any property you buy, you always have to take care of liens and shit like that that's on the
Right.
property.
So in
I
other
mean,
words,
there's plenty of squatters that do claim those buildings, but have you seen the conditions of?
And-
They're
and
not
can you
much
squat
better
in-
than the
in Maine?
abandoned property to begin with.
Are you able to squat up there legally and own a property after a period of time? What is the squatting rights in your state?
I think it's 14 days. If you're at a place for 14 days, 14 days or more consistently, it's classified. You have what's classified as squatter right. Because I had a buddy, matter of fact, years ago. He had some guy staying with him, and then he wanted to he was trying to get the guy out of his house. Well, the guy kicked the fucking door down, and come and got all of his shit. Right. Well, my buddy called the cops, and cops goes, "Well, how long has he been here?" He's been here about a month. Nothing we can do about it. He's been here 14 days consistently. It's classified as his residence now.
Well, if that's the situation, then why are people not simply squatting on these abandoned houses? Maybe
Just
they're
because
a hobby.
your legal residence doesn't mean you get to live there forever. That's not how legal residence works.
No, I get what he's saying though. Like these abandoned houses, you would think more squatters would just move the fuck into them. Because like a lot of times, I don't think like some of these properties I'm talking about. If somebody all of a sudden come in, cleaned up the property, and moved the fuck in, chances are nobody would fucking really even notice until like until like maybe a tax assessor or something like that. But like as far as people, I don't know. It'd be a big pill to swallow, I guess.
If I was down and out, if I was literally down and out, I don't see what I have to lose to try and squat in one of those houses. It's better than sleeping in the woods.
I know where there's like at least 3 old wood camps, like up in the fucking woods, like from like back when they were logging and shit. Like there's one particular place my buddy, he supposedly had the rights to this camp. I don't know if it was ever, I don't know, but there was on the door though. It was through I want to say maybe Irvin. It was 100-year lease for this camp on this property. Like even though it was like 1938, this building technically couldn't be like there was a lease there till 2038.
Yeah, there's stuff like that around here,
and it's
and
kind
I
of
don't
cool
mind it
because it's been
because it
abandoned
stops
for
people
50
from logging.
years.
It stops people from logging and putting in a bunch of houses, so it might frustrate wealthy people, but the locals that don't want it all developed, I can see them appreciating that shit.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And like if you go up on the American Reality Road, the wood mill, the Golden Road, whatever. Have you ever watched American Logging? You've heard of the Golden Road and the Stud Mill Road. anyways, like up through there, it's cool because you see all these places where they set up like temporary camps and shit. And you'll go in there and you'll find fucking old cans, like, and you know it's old because like the beer cans are the ones where you gotta take the little tool and twist them up.
Yep.
Like it's cool to see
That's
that. Or
older than the
like
pool tabs.
they got old fucking like wood stoves outside where they cooked outside and shit. Like still there. Like like them
Yeah.
porcelain white wood stoves. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the if they're enamel on the outside and the steel at the quality of those stoves, they can sit out there for 500 years.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it's just as pristine as can be. Like there's some surface rust obviously on top of the burners, but other than like the cast iron burners, but other than that, it's fucking. Last I knew, you could put a fire in and go.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy the old wood stoves. We go to a cabin every once in a while that's got one, and
Yeah.
it's fun to learn how to. I mean, if it's outside, whatever. If it's inside and there's a backdraft and it smokes the whole cabin out, like that's a
I've done
culture
that a few
shock.
times at my house.
Yeah, that's a
Go
culture
start a
shock.
fire and
People don't
fucking
know.
it backdrafts. Yeah.
But there's a security in that type of technology. Like you don't have to worry about gas as long as you have the ability to go out and chop wood, get wood
Yeah,
down.
pretty much.
You have the ability to keep warm and cook.
Told the wife, if I ever build a house, I'm gonna instead of like I'm gonna have a wood stove, but I want to get one of them and fucking have one of them.
A lot of people are going with the pellet stoves, but if there's ever an issue with the economy or industry, then you got to have a way to use it without having access to those pellets.
Yeah, the pellet stoves. I mean, they're good to a certain extent. If I was gonna do it personally, I would get like my stove. I'd get the door that has the burner attachment onto it. That's meant for wood stoves, like a regular wood stove. You can get a door with one of them burners on them pellet burners on it.
Interesting. So it's like a hybrid.
Yeah, essentially,
I
yeah.
haven't seen that. Yeah,
You
that's
can
cool.
convert, but then you have like a little hopper on the front, like your tube with the hopper on the front that fucking feeds in.
Yeah,
Or
you might as well have options.
Jesus, or something else, which I don't know how efficient it is, but like them big wood boilers, you're supposed to have like a big like 400 fucking gallon tank that heats up and fucking.
My neighbors have
That-
those.
But it's such a pain in the ass.
If you have a big enough system and you have a lot of wood, you can keep it going. And once you get it rolling, you only have to feed it like once a day. But the smaller systems, you're going out in the middle of the winter and you're dealing with it at night. And I don't know how much of a benefit that is.
I had a friend, he had one of them, and fuck, he burned everything in it. It was like a fucking incinerator.
Right.
Fuck. I mean, literally, he burnt everything in it. Probably shit he probably shouldn't burn.
It burns,
I remember
if you
he
burn
threw a
it hot
tire
enough,
in there
it
one
burns
day,
fast.
and that fucking thing burnt, just rolled out just
What
as
was
black
it?
as can be, and burned for fucking about 10 hours.
What did he burn?
A tire.
Oh my god.
Tire shouldn't have burned for 10 hours. If it was up to temperature,
Well,
that should
I
have
mean,
gone
it
up pretty
probably
fast.
wasn't 10 hours, but it seemed like it. I mean, it burned forever. So,
Okay. I just dumped tires off at the dump today. I was surprised that you can get rid of them for free now. I thought back in the day, I remember paying for each tire.
oh shit, you still have to up here. Fuck, you go buy new tires and they keep the tires, they charge you $5 per tire for state disposal fee.
Right. But there's such an industry down here now for reusing those tires. I think they use them for a lot of parks and recreational areas. They make like they crush it and like mold it together and make like a bouncy, durable
They
path.
retread them too.
I can see that too because there's a lot of 18-wheeler wheels inside of that container.
Yeah. Because as a matter of fact, a buddy of mine, for his truck, that's what he bought. He bought 4 tires and he paid like $300 for these tires. And they're like generic, because they retread them in the pattern of like Mickey Thompson's, like that style fucking mud tire there. So, I mean, he goes, fuck, I paid for all 4 of them the same price I would have for 4 brand new ones of the name brand. But I don't know. Because it's weird how they do that anyways, because they take the tire, then they somehow adhesive a whole new fucking rubber thing around it, and then they...
Yeah, but you're definitely you're paying less, but you're definitely taking a risk because you've seen the blow-offs from the 18-wheelers on the highway, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I'd rather pay the money for tread that's actually molded into the whole tire.
Yeah. We had a state cop a few, I'd say 5-6 years ago now. He was on the side of the road, just outside of the Bangor exit, and this truck went by and the fucking tire blew off and fucking hit him. I think the story is he shielded the woman from the car that he was out with. He shielded her when he see it, and he took the blunt of the hit, and fucking that was it. And then last spring we had a guy doing one of them fucking the parrot wheels. You know what I'm talking about? The separate
No.
wheels, the wheels that they have like the insert into them. They're on big trucks. They're more like big trucks. The fuck's the... Pretty
Not
much
familiar.
the rim fucking blew apart on him when he went to fuck... Because you're supposed to put them... When you blow them tires and you set the bead, you're supposed to put them in a cage. And he used some ether on it to try to blow it on, but he didn't do it in a cage. And when he did it, the way the rim's designed, it fucking blew up and fucking killed him.
The shrapnel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
fucking
it. That's a lot of
And the
explosive
sad part
power.
is, just as it happened, his fucking wife walked in to come see him for lunch. As it happened. So,
Rest in peace, that guy.
oh man, it was bad. Fuck, what the hell is his name too?
Are you talking about when they're on a tubeless tire when they're trying to
It's
pop
a
it back
split
on the
rim,
rim?
is what it's called. I think it's called a split rim
Oh, yeah,
on
I'm
a
not
tractor
familiar.
trailer truck. I think that's what it's called. Jeff, can we ask Charlie what it's called? If it's called a split rim on a semi truck.
I'll be right back.
I can try. And I want to hear your story about meeting this guy.
Oh,
off of
all right. So there was a guy. So I used to hang around like Brooklyn Audit's fucking channel, right? And there was a guy. My monikers Leggy 207. So obviously 207's Maine. Well, this guy's like, "Hey, are you from Maine?" I go, "Yeah." And he's like, "What part?" And I told him. He's like, "Oh, right on." He goes, "I'm from down that way." Well, he was my number one. He was my first sub on my, not this channel, but my now defunct channel,
The
right?
one you got locked out of?
Yeah. So, and if you look at some of my first fucking, some of my first videos that I posted, I think it's "You Have the Right to Remain Silent," the name of the guys. There was a lot of communication back and forth with me and him. Anyways, that was the guy. So today, because he drives Corvettes, right? He drives a yellow Corvette and a black Corvette. Well, nobody else down here has these style Corvettes. So I've seen him throughout the year. The last few years, I've seen this guy at the grocery store because he parks at the same exact place every time. But I've never said anything because I've either had my wife with me or the kids. Well, today he was in front of me at the store. And I was like, I think that's the guy. And he come out, sure enough, the fucking Corvette was there. So I rolled up, I go, "Hey," I go, "Shame to have to drive that fucking car around in Maine weather like this," which prompted the conversation, right? And so then I go, "By the way, are you on YouTube?" And he kind of like, "Yeah, not really." I go, "You know Leggy 207? He goes, yeah. I go, "Well, that's me." I go, he goes, "No shit." So fucking we sat there and we had a fucking good 10-15 minute conversation about fucking cars and shit. It was kind of cool.
Were you
But
on
like,
YouTube?
yeah.
How do you know he was your first subscriber?
Because I had like no subs, and then like him. Then he started commenting on my shit.
It's not just his first subscriber; it's his only subscriber.
Well, yeah.
Wow, that's a cool. So now you know where he is. Y'all could.
I mean, I've recognized the guy since day one. I just have never said anything to him. Because as I said, there's only so many there's nobody else with these particular Corvettes down here. Like, you know what I mean? They're very, very fancy, high-end Corvettes.
What year?
One's a what the fuck?
What decade?
It's a newer style.
Oh, okay.
It's a C7. What do you say it is? A C7R or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the newer ones. I'm more familiar
He
with
said there was
the
only
50s, 60s,
he
70s.
told me there was only 80 of these fucking particular models made of the Corvette because it's a CV7R or something like that. It's a special model of it. And dude, like I mean, it legit it has a different, even compared to his yellow one, it's fucking completely different.
So is
Like
that
it
like an
has
M
like
series for a BMW? It's a higher end, very custom lot.
yep.
How's the harvest going? What are you currently harvesting?
Clams, but they're doing this fucking bullshit now where they don't want nothing over 3 inches. So like yesterday, fucking there's 20 pounds of clams that I could have sold that fucking I couldn't sell. I was like, what the fuck?
Because they reproduce over a certain size, or what's the
No, they're
reasoning?
too big. They were too big. They didn't want them. They want 2 to 2.5 inch clams. They don't want
Well, do they
nothing
give
three
them
and a
back
half
to
to
you, or
4.
do they throw them away?
Well, no, I mean there's other places to get rid of them, but the way
Is this
I've been
Linda?
selling to this one place because it's cash. So like I rather get I like getting cash at the end of the day versus going to get a check than having to run around to go cash it. And
Oh yeah.
Why would
I
they
just
not
get
want? I don't understand the mentality in America of not wanting the largest piece.
well because they don't want. Apparently they're a pain in the ass to shuck or the too tough. I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you why.
But when you cook
Maybe the
clams, my
internet
understanding is
can't.
that they open up on their own. You don't even have to shuck them.
What, clams?
Yeah, I thought you just
I
steam
mean, you
them and
kind
they
of have to
pop
shuck
open.
them.
Okay.
I mean, clams not
Andrew's in
like
the chat asking you if you've been romantic with a lobster.
well, I may or may not have kissed a lobster once or twice.
I bet you
The
did.
blue ones, right? You kiss them for good luck.
Fuck yeah, dude. Them fucking yep. Nope, daughter pop, not puffer fish. Fucking yep. I showed you that fucking fish, some different colored fishes at one time. Oh shit, they're good
I see a
looking
lot of
fish.
fish on here.
Shit, I'm trying to think what the fuck it is now. I'll never fucking think of it. Fuck, I can't think of what the hell it's called now.
Not Laz has more questions for you in the chat, Leggy.
About
I'm
food,
sure not
clams.
Roger.
Do you ever tell your fellow workers to shuck that shit?
No, because I don't shuck clams, so. And
He's not a clam
I
shucker.
just
He doesn't
sell to
shuck
the
around.
places that does it, so.
Do you jive? At
Huh?
least. Do you
Do I
jive?
What do you mean, do I
Are you a
jive?
jive turkey?
Well,
Oh,
I might
shit.
be a jive. You
If
know,
you don't
that was
shuck,
we
you
did that
jive.
shit in my yearbook when we graduated. We did that we had jive turkeys, groovy, like that was the instead of like
You're
funniest
not that
person or
old.
best
They were
dressed
doing that in my
person.
generation.
We
What
did
year
it. We
did you
did it with
graduate,
fucking. We did it like the '70s theme. And matter of fact,
Oh,
we started the trend of color yearbooks too. My class did. From my class on,
what?
every class has had a color yearbook, and we were the
What
first
does
one
that
to do
mean,
it.
a colored yearbook?
To have colored pages and instead of it being black, everything black and white. There was like when it come to the senior section, it was all color.
Yep. The seniors got to have
Ooh,
color.
'cause you had to
must
pay
have
extra
graduated
for
around
that.
like before 2000? No. You must have graduated
I
around
graduated
early
in
2000.
06.
2006. So I was
Yeah.
04.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo,
As a matter of
both
fact,
of you
I
could have
think
been
we
my
were one of the
students.
first classes in this area at my high school too to include the yearbook company would do the year in review or whatever the fuck you want to do it. So like they would have all the big world events that had happened in the last few years, 4 years or whatever. They would have it all compiled into it.
Hey,
Um,
Leggy, do you have a lobster harpoon?
Harpoon.
use
That would be
get the
funny to
lobster?
catch with a fucking harpoon.
to tear it up pretty good. What was your class? What were you guys' class slogans? My slogan was "We will soar" in 2004. That's how cool we were. Because we were the Eagles. The Eagles that became the Dolphins was worst mascot change ever.
What the fuck was that?
How do you go from an eagle
I
to a
don't
dolphin?
remember. I remember our
Liberal.
class song, which was Boondocks by Little Big Town. I personally wanted fucking Schools Out by Alice Cooper, but
School's out for the summer.
or smoking in the girls' room, that one.
Smoking in the boys' room.
Oh, boys' room or whatever the fuck it was, yeah. That song. Because instead of the boys' room, we used to sneak into the photo lab and fucking smoke in the photo lab.
Did y'all have a dark room?
Yeah, that's where we
Oh,
that's
okay.
where we would go.
Yeah, ours had one too.
Because it vented because of the Dectol chemicals and that shit, right?
Well, just because it was like in the way back of the fucking school, and
It
like
wasn't vented though.
it was defunct because the teacher had retired. So my freshman year, the teacher had retired. So like from then on, like fucking nobody was there. I mean, everybody smoked there before that, but like really the wood shop / the photo lab, that become the place to go because, well, it was in the back of the school and fucking nobody was there. Fuck, it was fun. Fun. I tell you what, we had some good times in that wood shop though. Before
I'm
the
just-
class got canceled.
Good times in the wood shop.
You don't remember if it was vented or not?
Oh, I think there was a vent there. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there was because there was the little switch you turned on when you turned it
Okay.
on. There was a fan that yeah, it had to be because there was a fan and a red light that turned on when
Yeah,
you turned
that's
the
right.
switch.
Okay, just making sure because I worked in a dark room as well, and that fan was important because those chemicals were brutal, man.
I remember those chemicals, the smell.
I
to
didn't
this
take
day.
photo in school. So I never learned how to do that shit. But it was
I was
right
on
there. The
jungle.
wood.
It's
It
not
was
really hard.
like the
Yeah.
wood shop. Pretty much the wood shop was right here, and then like there was a little doorway right here that went to the room that the exposure room or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the dark room.
Were you in wood shop?
Yeah.
I liked
Fuck.
woodshop. My mom still has a cutting board I made that was like an old bomb, like from like the Looney Tunes. There's a bomb
yeah.
handle. It was pressed walnut and maple, I think. And you made
I did a cabinet. I don't know what the fuck, shelf or
that's way
whatever.
more fancy than a
Comes
cutting
out
board.
and it's all curled on the side, and it
Oh,
has the
wow.
fucking. I made the things for the coats and the keys and shit, whatever the fuck. The little pegs, like I carved them all out on the ladle. And,
My God.
Fuck.
You have
Was it
skills.
symmetrical when you were finished?
huh?
Was it symmetrical when you were finished, or did it look like a wonky donkey? Yeah.
With some TLC, it wind up looking okay afterwards. I think
Right.
initially it was a little wonky, but then Mr. Ayers was like, "Which side do you like the best?" And I told him, and he goes, "All right, take that side off, make a pattern of that side, and then put it on the." And he goes, "Then redo your other side." So, because
That's cool. Sounds
I
like you
did
cared.
the fucking the duck the whatever the fuck, what is it, the duck tails or whatever.
Dovetail.
Dovetail. Yeah. So it was pretty
that's cool,
easy
man.
fucking when I did
I think all students should take woodshop to.
I was about to
learn
ask
how
if they
build.
still have wood shop.
No, I'm pretty sure they got rid of it.
Well,
The
I'd say
sad
it
part
depends on
is
the
I'm pretty
school.
sure that shop's been closed. Well, yes, I've been out of school for 20 years. So it's been closed for 23 years, the wood shop. And last time I knew, every bit of wood that was there when I graduated high school is still there.
I would say it depends on the state and the school. I guarantee that there's like my middle school. I guarantee they still have a wood shop in there.
We had a wood shop and a welding shop where they would do metal work.
We now have
Oh,
what's called
See if we still
CTE.
have ours. You have
What
what?
is it? CTE, Career Technical Education. Career Technical Education or something like that.
Computer.
Is that similar?
No. CTE. It's like
Oh yeah, because we
maybe
have
it's
something like
construction.
that.
Maybe it's construction trade education or something like that. I don't know. whatever.
Maryland, there
CT
was something technical institute. It was a very infamous mechanics and maintenance tertiary education.
down in there was. Are you talking about Rhode Island?
Lincoln Tech, I think. Lincoln Technical Institute. That was the one.
Because there was one that I looked at, and it wasn't Lincoln Tech. I want to say it was like, where the fuck was it? It was like down in Rhode Island or Connecticut, one of the two. But it was something like that. But they wanted me. The reason I never went there is because they wanted me to come down there for a school, whatever, and talk to the instructors and all that shit there. And my dad's like, well, fuck that. I'm not driving 6 hours to Connecticut.
Yeah, that puts a little wrench in the works.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in high school that they shut down maintenance class before I got there. Because they had a car shop, but only some of the older seniors were able to be in the class. I would have loved to work on cars.
Yeah, see, we didn't have that.
Way better
they
than
do now.
Like, how is working on cars outdated? Like that. I mean, that's like the most secure job I can think of around here.
It was only for seniors.
When I actually went to college, I thought about it. What's the one career? What's the one thing people will always be in need for? A plumber. 100%. Because people will always be shitting. And then heating, right? People will always want to be warm and or cool. Plumbing and heating, perfect fucking career field to get into, right?
I think you're
Went
right.
to school, did fucking well. You think that's what I'm doing for a living? Fuck no.
Well,
because I only like new construction, and when I realized that it's a lot of fucking trying to fix other people's shit that's already been there, I was like, fuck that shit. I hate doing that. Trying to go in and then you're looking at how people have shit down here. It's like, this is all fucked up. I got to rip it all out, but you can't. You know what I mean? It's one of them type deals.
Yeah, when you're working on a hodgepodge job, yeah. I think a carpenter and an electrician are very important jobs as well, but a plumber is one that people aren't going to like wait to get fixed. Like if their lights go out or in a room or there's an issue with wiring, or if there's like a wall that's a little bit cracked or crooked or a door frame, whatever, people can put that aside. But if the toilet breaks, they're not waiting to fix that. That's essential.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes, weird things.
Well,
we've got the deadline for what you were looking up earlier with Trump and Iran is at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we've got 4 hours to kill.
I wasn't even sure it was real. Like if he was
deadline?
giving them a fake deadline just to fake them out or something. So they still do have.
As far as we know, it's a real deadline that he's going to literally just board wipe their energy facilities and their bridges.
So if they don't open the Strait up, he's gonna just fucking decimate the country. Is that the end?
At this point, why would Iran think that we're playing around? I would take us very seriously right now.
Because once again, like I was trying to get through the other day, I think it's a pressure game. They're hoping other countries will pressure the U.S. to back the fuck off.
Yeah, but they've been playing the pressure game and losing this whole time.
I mean, doesn't mean anything. As you put pressure on people to a certain point till they break, it don't matter. They're gonna try, just like the fucking Germans did. They tried right till the fucking end. Same thing. Like there was a Japanese. You ever hear about them 3 Japanese soldiers that fought the war for like 30 years?
Yeah, they didn't know it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were stuck in the fucking Philippines, in the jungle of the Philippines or wherever. And they fucking hid and they didn't know. So.
I would have gone to a 7-Eleven eventually and been like, hey, can I get a hot dog or something here? And
well, that's what happened eventually. Like the Japan kept trying to get them, kept sending out flyers, and they thought it was propaganda and shit like that there. And then one of the guys, he got more curious than another guy, and then the last guy, it took forever for him to finally come the fuck out.
I would wonder how much PTSD was involved in those individuals that stayed in the forest.
Oh, I mean, he was fucking batshit crazy by the
Yeah.
end of it. I mean, he had to know the war was fucking over. I mean, he just used it as an excuse to say a fucking, well, AWOL, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
You think
Because,
so?
I
I don't
mean,
know. You really want
because
to
they
live off
said that
snails in
he
the
used
forest?
to, well, they said he got to the point where he would go steal supplies and shit from fucking people. So, I mean, you would have to notice the fucking difference. You know what you would think you would notice differences compared to what was to what is now or then, you know.
29 years. I didn't know it was 29 years.
Yeah, dude, it was a long fucking time.
Oh my god. He didn't stop till 1974.
Yeah.
One of them surrendered in 1950. So how did this other one last? If one of them surrendered, how did this other one last till 74?
So the other one surrendered, but he still thought it was fucking propaganda. He thought when the other guy surrendered, he thought there was something that happened that he thought was odd, so he got it back out again. So. Of course, at this point too, I think you had the Vietnam War at some point, so and the Korean War. So I mean, there was still wars going on, and so who the fuck knows? I tell you what though, because Bangor is not that far, and little history about Bangor. Bangor was built for B-52 bombers, right? Dow Air Force Base was built for B-52 bombers. It's Bangor International Airport's like number 3 on the alternative things for the space shuttle to land on, because it's like one of the longest runways on the East Coast, and like there's nothing longer on the West Coast. Like Bangor has a huge fucking runway.
Where do they land normally?
What do you mean? The space shuttles?
Yeah.
Oh, they land what in either
Florida?
Houston or Florida or somewhere. But anyways, so my point is Bangor, there's an air base there as well. And dude, the other day, fuck, you should have seen the fucking amount of military traffic that flew overhead. Of course, they're a KC-135 base, so there was them that come in. There was, I see a C-10 that come, or the newer, bigger tanker they have. I see that come in the other day. I see, and then there was 10 fighter jets that come in right behind them. Fucking, and I haven't seen that for a long time. Last time I see that many fighter jets is when Indian Air Force was over here doing training, and they stopped in Bangor.
What do you think that means? What's a Barracuda? A car?
It's a muscle car. If my mind's correct, it's a Canadian.
I can't believe Notlaws built a car in high school.
So Canada has slightly different models than we have. Even though we have kind of like the same cars, they have certain variations that we don't have down here. I think the Barracuda is one of them. He said, what year was that car? Did he say what year that car was?
What car?
The Barracuda. Not is in the chat talking about it. I'm guessing
Isn't
that was
Barracuda's
I'm guessing
the
that was
same as
70s.
Roadrunner, if I'm not mistaken.
He said it was in 2001 that they built it.
The year was 2001, but I think the Barracuda is an older vehicle. I think that's a 70s car.
I don't know. I'm car illiterate. I don't even know if I know my own car.
There was a reality TV show up in Canada of a guy that had a junkyard of cars. I can't remember what it's called, but they did it for 2 seasons, and it was just like him he would like work on 3 cars to sell them to buy a more expensive car so that he could then work on that
flipping
profit. It was like car flipping, and then he would make a profit in the end, and he'd sell these cars to like famous movie stars and whatever. It was a pretty cool show. because all the actors were like nobodies. They were just like charismatic car mechanics and stuff, and I enjoyed it.
Said it was 1970.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No way. The ice. Do you know him? Hey, tell him to come on my show. I want to
There
meet
you
him.
go. You interview him.
Yeah. This is reality.
You said there was a lot going on in the news today. I'm curious what you're talking about.
With the Iran stuff and everybody waiting to find out what's.
Oh, the waiting game. Okay.
Yeah, the waiting game.
Because I did put my feelers out, and it's basically just Artemis and Iran. There's really nothing else going on that I can find.
Any news for Artemis? Like, did they release any more footage?
They put two
I kept
photos out.
seeing like moonshots all over Twitter, but they look fake, and people are saying don't trust anything that doesn't come from NASA because people are making fake AI moonshots.
Well, there's B&O News posted 2 photos last night, and then there's a lot of people talking about the Nutella, like they're all saying it was product placement because during the live stream in the cabin of the shuttle, like a Nutella jar started like floating past the screen into the background, and everybody's like, "Come on, man!"
Who grows? Who would want Nutella, even if it's product placement?
There was a female in the crew, so Nutella totally makes sense.
Oh.
You know, Nutella is the middle of the Ferrero Rocher chocolate wafers, right?
Wait, it's what?
You know what Ferrero Rocher is? Those foil covered.
No
balls?
Way.
That's what
That's
Nutella is.
Nutella? I
That's
don't.
what
Wait, hang on. I need a fact check on this.
Legitimately the same exact stuff. What is Nutella considered? It's a chocolate. It's chocolate. It's like a hydrogenated fat and chocolate. That's my understanding. No, it's not made of nuts.
I'm seeing connections, but I'm not. Let me try the AI. Is it the same company?
I believe the same gentleman that created that consistency of that Nutella is the same person that made the Ferrero Rocher.
It's a hazelnut cocoa spread, and there's something called Nutella Ferrero Rocher, which is a chocolate treat that combines the flavors of Nutella.
Probably with a bready wafer crunch, but that would be a.
But also, it looks like they do it differently for the U.S. market.
Right. I just think the origin's the same. The pterodactyl's coming back. He wants to do a flyby.
Oh. Yay. I think I'm gonna have better luck starting the pterodactyl brigade than I am the antler brigade.
Well, it doesn't have to be 2 brigades. It can be multiple factions in the same brigade.
The antlered pterodactyls. The antler dactyls. We'll have dinosaur wings and antlers, and we'll go around town screeching.
Let me know how that works out for you. I'm curious to see how society reacts to the.
I will. There's this cosplay group that's supposed to be meeting soon, and they're the ones I'm going to hook up with to try to help me bring my vision into reality. So I'll see how that goes.
How is your tangible group going? You said you got a legitimate gathering going in a local spot.
It's growing slowly. It's part of it's just getting the word out. It's 2 challenges: getting the word out because it's a new group, but the people here are there's a lot of introverts, and they don't just like come out and do things. There's an art to getting them out of their house and out of their shell and interacting in person.
I am listening. I'm going to step to the side for a second. But what is the carrot that you put on the end of the stick for an introvert?
I don't know. I have some introverts helping me with it because I don't know introvert psychology at all. But the board game group is, I think, taking off pretty nicely.
What game you guys
So board games helps because introverts will come out to play board games.
Sorry, what game are you guys
I
playing
think
for
the
board
neighbor
game?
moved, Andrew.
Oh,
Welcome back. Did you get some sleep?
No, I ended up calling one of my friends.
Oh my god.
I was talking to another friend who is apparently on the same backward sleep schedule as me right now. So
Your mic is very low for me. I don't know if it's low for
Hang on,
Jeff.
I turned her low last night. All right.
yeah, I'm on a
Try
different
again.
mic. I'm recharging my
Yeah,
head.
now you're normal. More normal. What's up? We were talking about Nutella and Ferrero Rocher. Oh, did I knock her out?
I don't think so.
Much superior to Nutella.
What is?
Like just other hazelnut butters of an unfamiliar name.
Oh.
That's essentially what Nutella is. I guess it's like a chocolate hazelnut butter. But
Yeah.
take like a hazelnut butter and like
cocoa spread.
and then put in some like cacao nibs. That's a little crunch, a little chocolatey flavor. Yeah. But yeah, I love Ferrero Rocher. Have you ever had the dark chocolate ones? I had a few of those last year. Those are good.
Yeah, the coconut ones are pretty good too, I think. What's the next holiday we got coming up? Is it Labor Day?
Is that the one I thought it was Memorial. Let's see. Next major US holiday. I know there's a big long stretch. It seems like the next really big one is 4th of July.
At the beginning of summer and one is at the end, and I never remember which one is which.
Okay. Yeah, like
Labor
the
Day.
campground.
Labor Day.
That's the beginning of it. Okay.
Labor Day was always
No, Labor Day is at the end, isn't it? Yeah, that's at the end. Memorial Day is the unofficial
Memorial Day is
start
in
to
May,
summer.
and then you have things like Mother and Father's Day,
Yeah.
which are also
Okay.
Mother's Day is in May, Memorial Day is the end of May, Father's Day is in June. Then you get 4th of July and Labor Day in September.
Yeah, I should know that Labor Day is in September because I was usually like cutting. I was usually on not cutting wheat, but I was not on a combine. I was usually on some other kind of tractor. And they'd usually have like a lot of times the DJs would be like more inclined to accept requests on Labor Day, and so I would call in and be like, like, what is Labor Day? What's this whole like not getting to work today? I know nothing about it, but I have a song request.
Because I sure am laboring.
Yeah, like I do not understand this holiday.
And there's Veterans Day somewhere in there.
Right, which is not Memorial Day, but it's easily confused with it.
Oh, that's in November. Okay. Right. Yes. Are you on the tractor right now?
No,
You keep coming in and out. You're making all kind of weird noises, actually.
okay. Well, I'm having to use like the sort of normal built-in mic because my they're on the charger. So if I get real noisy and I need to mute, just let me know.
It's weird. It's just all kind of weird sounds coming in and out. It's ironic that your avatar is the mic, the golden mic.
Turn you guys down to make sure there's no like feedback. Is that better?
It's making like computer noise, robot noises. It sounds sci-fi.
Well, that's weird. Like I hear
But
that.
we were
but
having pterodactyl noises earlier too. I welcome noises here.
Because I hear like
Noisy
game
around.
noises when I'm muted.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's something like music or something.
Oh, sorry. That's my boys playing Terraria in the background.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's me. Like on a computer, I would be searching my bazillion open tabs for one that was weirdly playing some sort of ad. But I'm on an iPad, and that doesn't actually work that way usually. So I was like, I don't think it's me.
What are you doing today? What do you have planned? Besides maybe some sleep.
What am I doing today?
Yeah, or
I don't know,
anybody. Really.
talking until I get sleepy or otherwise entertaining myself.
That's
Feeding
gonna
the
just
kids
keep you awake.
and picking eggs again later.
Maybe what's a good boring conversation we can have? Maybe that'll help.
I'm looking on the internet currently for what's going on, but it's just being overtaken by Iran.
Still waiting.
Well, like there's the strike that Israel did on Tehran, and they took out one of their own Jewish synagogues.
Oh, I didn't know about that. And then they hit Karg Island too. I saw.
Recently, as of today, because I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
It's interesting. I'm definitely mostly interested in anything, like kind of.
U.S. has struck Iranian military targets on Karg Island. Here's what
That's
we know
old
about.
information.
It says 3 hours ago.
They would have to be. Can you send me that?
There's another one from. Here's one from Reuters.
Because we took out their military establishment
April
on Karg Island.
7th, the U.S. military conducted strikes on military targets on Iran's Karg Island. The Axios news. So it's from Axios. Let me go there.
It's just a matter of timing because we did that a couple weeks ago when we took out their military infrastructure, but we didn't take out their oil facility on the island.
I think we hit one of the oil facilities.
Then we're moving more into a scorched earth scenario for them. My understanding is that they were trying to keep the infrastructure intact so that when the power shifted over, they could get back at it instead of having to rebuild everything. So if we actually do move forward and wipe their power grid and bridges, that's resetting their whole civilization a lot.
I mean, most of the infrastructure hits, at least the bridge ones that I know about, were essentially military targets. Like, I know some of them were built because I was just digging into it because they were all built as like these are civilian. I'm like, I don't know, let me look, and you look at like where they are, and they're basically
they targeted more than 50 military sites on Karg Island.
This island's not even that big. What is that, like the tool shed and the outhouse? Like,
no, that's what I'm looking at. This is from the Council on Foreign Relations website, so it looks official. They carried out a fresh round of strikes on the island on April 7th, hitting more than 50 military targets.
I'd love to know what those military targets are considered, like individual.
And the attacks came ahead of an 8 p.m. Eastern Time deadline issued by Trump. So 8 p.m., that's like 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, like if he's smacking Karg Island just to show that he's ramped up and ready to go, that might be chess moves. That makes sense as chess moves.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking, because he kind of set up the like, if you don't, give it up,
is this a stick?
I will escalate. I will bomb you to rubble if that's what is required to do it. And so that would be a good move. Be like, I haven't heard from you yet. Let me just remind you that the clock is ticking. That would
my concern is that if the civilians are actually on the side of the people taking out the regime, and when we destroy their power facilities and their transportation ability, are they going to then turn on us and no longer be interested in America because we've crossed a line? Like, are we
and prefer an Islamo-fascist regime to us?
I'm gonna get that it's a mixed batch. Like, honestly, most of the stuff I got about when I started digging into like the disposition of the bridges, because they're like, oh, they're targeting civilians. Like, it was actually like people from tweeting in Persian going, no, that bridge was basically built to transport missiles, and here's a picture of where our internal regime like killed a bunch of us that were sheltering the other night and blew up our where we were, this marketplace. And then there's a bunch of people in the responses going, you traitor, some of them were going, yeah, go, like come on, like bomb more bridges. Like, so I'm gonna say basically what I've been able to say is I'm gonna guess that it's as would be expected, it's mixed, but I haven't seen, but most of what I've been able to research, it seems like they're pretty fine with the bridges that have been bombed and so forth, because it's not like they get to move on them.
That's so.
I'm sure they're doing this strategically too. Our military. I trust them to.
Roads are always a military asset when you're engaged with the military. Like, that's, for better or worse, it's true.
it just seems like if we're actually going to move forward with a elevated strike tonight, that it's moving outside of the territory of the military bridges and military facilities to a larger infrastructure that affects way more than just the military.
Well, I mean, presumably the next would be pocketbook, right? Which would be the oil facilities and stuff, right? That would
Say that again.
I'm running out of military targets, and I want to put the pressure on. It's like I'm not going to go to like, random civilian stuff, but I would, it's power and money, right? That's the next squeeze. So,
What percentage do you guys have on this moving forward?
On what?
what do you mean?
On the strike actually happening at 8 o'clock? Do you guys have above 50% chance?
Oh, I don't think it doesn't sound to me like Iran's going to make any kind of deal. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to use the stick because the carrot didn't work.
I trust Trump to be true to his word. That's Trump doesn't bluff. I do not believe he bluffs. He will, like, it's sort of like the old John Wayne. He's like, that's not a threat, that's a fact. I would say I don't bluff, but I often don't have to carry through on my threats, right? It's like, but I don't bluff unless I'm willing to do it. And I measure him to be similar in that respect. He's got that temperament, and has demonstrated.
Minus 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll come back tonight for an evening stream.
If it pops off, it's going to be heavy.
It just makes me want to go find those old like Flash movies from like the joke sites back in the golden days of the internet. Did you guys ever like go to those places?
Like Newgrounds, or what do you mean?
I think that was one of them. Yeah, they had like there was one. It was one about the Taliban, and there was about the Taliban has got a plan. I don't remember how it all went, and it was all animated. And then there was one based on the daylight come and we drop the bomb or something like that. It was that was one of my favorites.
There was College Humor. There was Newgrounds. There was Nude Grounds. There was
something like that.
That's all I really remember. Because then there was also other stuff, but that was more like Cult of the Dead Cow stuff. Like
yeah, well, there was like the funny videos and parody songs about like that stuff about the Taliban and bombing them and stuff. And then there was the Teletubby target game. And if you aced it, you got to do the Barney bonus round.
I remember the meme that was released not very long ago, where in Teletubbies the little baby Sunshine is a full-grown adult female that had her own kid now, and I was like, I am old. I am reaching old status.
You mean in real life she had a kid? Or No, my God, that's that creepy sun baby thing. Oh my God, I hated that
her own
thing.
baby.
What? Hang on, this is more interesting than me.
I was gonna say.
I gotta research this.
Time for bye, suck.
I hated Teletubbies,
What?
and
I did too,
because like
especially that sun.
Watching it with like whoever was
It's in People magazine. Oh my God, it is true.
Sounds like Jeff was hitting that tubby tustard.
Teletubbies son baby welcomes daughter.
I blame Woodrow Wilson.
Oh no, wait. You mean in real life? I thought you meant in Teletubby world the son had a baby, and now there's like two sons with babies in them. But the girl who played the baby is now an adult, and she just had a baby.
But they're not both like celestial entities in Teletubbies.
No, that's what I was getting scared of. That there were two Teletubby sons now. One was like a mom's son. Hey, Tafta. No, one of those was enough. That was creepy. They had some pretty creepy kid stuff, like those Mr. Rogers puppets. But that Teletubby son was the scariest, creepiest kid thing I've ever seen. They should have made a horror movie about it.
It was. Well,
I couldn't watch the Teletubbies because of that son. It was so disturbing.
I didn't like any of it, and they were dumb, and they didn't talk, and then they repeated the whole.
And I didn't understand. Right? They would like, and they could all understand each other, but I didn't know what the fuck anything they were saying. You couldn't follow the plot, anything.
Now, a
It was
good
dumb. I couldn't believe that kids' brains were responding to that.
I guess, but now the Aquabats, I that one I recommend, and I
I
watched
don't
it.
remember them.
Your Aquabats.
I didn't
was
like Barney
like,
either, though.
I think they've been from another country. Or, I don't know. It was not like largely popular,
What
but
are?
my found it a few years ago, and it's hilarious. And they're like a
Oh
band,
my
and
god, they look just as.
they're us, and they're hilarious. It's great.
Oh god, I'm so glad I grew up with Captain Kangaroo and missed out on all this stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I caught like Barney was on. Like I was subjected to Barney as a child.
Barney was. I hated. Barney was too sappy and happy.
I just, like
He was cringe.
awful.
And
Like,
they had that older girl, like the older Mexican girl that was way too old to be with those kids.
what I really
She
liked,
bothered me.
what was it? The Dinosaurs TV show. I liked that one much
Oh,
better.
I love dinosaurs. Yes, that one.
I like dinosaurs. My favorite cartoon that I would attempt to get, we had Saturday morning cartoons, and there were some good ones. I remember there was like a Sherlock Holmes in the Future TV show that was fun. X-Men, the animated series, came on in the afternoons, and Biker Mice from Mars came on if I got up early enough in the morning. That was my favorite. It's a great cartoon.
Was that the next generation of cartoons? Biker
Mice from Mars. Like they did a remake in like 2004, but the original is from the 90s, and like it's one of the few things I torrented back in those days, and it holds up. It's a great show. It's like
motorcycle riding alien mice.
Yes,
they look cooler than the Ninja Turtles.
They are. They're like the Ninja Turtles, only cooler. Like it's like the Ninja Turtles, only like better.
They're these buff mice motorcycle daddies. Look at this, guys.
And they like to have
wow.
They eat pizza, and I forget what it is.
I can get into that. Yeah, look. Look at these. They look like furries. Look at him.
That was the leader.
Yeah, I missed out on. I didn't know about these at all.
Throttle and Vinny. Throttle was the leader. He's like the brown one, I think. And then Vinny, I think he was the cyborg one, and I can't think of the third one's name. And then they had like a girl, like the Ninja Turtles had April or whatever, and the Biker Mice, I can't think of her name, but they had they had like the reporter chick or whatever. I remember. And she owned a pizza joint or something. I don't know. Oh. They ate a lot of pizza and drank a lot of root beer. And then Highlander. Me and my dad watched the Highlander TV show. I enjoyed that one.
What is it? Highlander?
Like the TV show one with Duncan.
Wasn't that a movie?
Talking about that, sure.
Yeah, like
also a movie. Yeah, it was a good movie
about Highlander.
With, the French dude, Christopher Lambert, and then Adrian Paul. They did a offshoot like TV show with Adrian Paul as his like cousin, who was also an immortal, and so sword fight, at least one sword fight every episode. Some fun historical flashbacks, good stuff. But mostly I enjoyed the sword. I remember when we had satellite TV. So like I watched weird things as a kid because we didn't have like the normal channels. Like everybody else was watching Walker. I didn't see Walker until many years later. I remember
watching what?
Do what?
Watching what?
Like Walker, Texas Ranger, right? Like that was hot.
Oh.
And like Buffy. Like I didn't get to see those because they were.
How did you end up with weird channels? Where did you grow up?
We had a satellite instead of an antenna, right? So like we had satellite channels, but we didn't have the like free antenna channels and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I had like Nick at Night. I had Cartoon Network when it came out. Nick at Night. Like if I wanted to watch Saturday morning cartoons, I had to go to my grandma's house, like 5 miles away. I did. Or Biker Mice from Mars. Usually, me and my cousin would like sleep over at my grandma's house.
Ninja Turtle ripoff.
Biker Mice from Mars.
No, they look cooler than the Ninja Turtles.
But it was still a ripoff, though. I was like, as a kid, I was always like, oh, so they did the Ninja Turtles, but with mice. Okay.
But yeah, and then I remember when we started getting like
every time.
Who the hell was that?
And I rember they had like the search channel, and me and my dad would watch them do like knee surgeries and stuff. Nobody else would watch this.
No, I couldn't. Oh God, I can't watch those shows. Those are worse than a horror movie.
I don't find horror movies that entertaining, but we found it interesting because we're like, those are basically the power tools we have. Like, so if you had to do an emergency like knee replacement surgery, we were like, yeah, we could probably manage that. Never had, but we studied, we watched, so we had some knowledge of how to do it. It was pretty straightforward, honestly. Like it was just pretty basic. They just sort of like rounded off the edges and bolted in a joint and then stuck it back together.
You got anything else, guys?
I'm talking to a 35-year-old woman here in another chat that's basically saying they want to give up on life because it's not rewarding enough and people aren't giving them the things that they need. And I can understand. I appreciate it, but this is definitely a hey, look at me type conversation. So
those are
right. Yeah, it's hard to relate because it doesn't seem very genuine. That's all.
I know what my sister would say.
What do they need?
It sounds like they need other people to appreciate them more. I think a lot of people, there's like a difference. You can either, you're a person that's based on joy, like it comes from within, or you're a person that's based on happiness, where things have to happen around you for you to be for you to feel good. And this seems like an individual that's focused on there's not enough happiness in her life, and there's nothing internal that's giving them a sense of value or appreciation. So if everything around them isn't working out the way they want to, then they're feeling the way they are. That's kind of my vibe.
I appreciate recognition, but it's pretty sparse resource generally is what I've observed. So it's wise.
I definitely don't depend on it, and I don't plan my life around it.
It's important to learn to do without it. Like
but you have to have the wisdom to have people in your life that are going to keep that standard. If you're going to give in and compromise just to be around people, then strap in, enjoy.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was never one that was able to do that. I didn't need it but I never needed it bad enough to compromise myself for it.
Yeah. I'm willing to, to put on quite a show for it sometimes, but not compromise for it.
But tell her just start a YouTube channel. Anybody can have it nowadays.
If she's not mentally stable,
social media.
She's not mentally stable, Jeff. I'm not going to suggest creating a YouTube channel.
That has not stopped half of YouTube from starting channels.
I was going to say, is that the requisite?
That is not a barrier to entry. In fact, it's probably an asset.
Yeah, I believe that she has the mental ability to do so, but the amount of drama and stress that'll come with it may put her in a worse spot.
That's true. Yeah, there is that. Yeah. You have to have a lot of resilience or indifference to be on here.
Right.
What is a pull down?
Sounds like an adult theme.
I've heard of pull ups. Oh, we have another guest. Hello, sir. What's going on in your world?
Good afternoon, Jeff.
What's up, Waffle?
Hey, RW, Leggy.
Waffles, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, bro?
Good. I don't ever get to see you anymore. Do you have a channel?
I no longer have a channel. No.
Okay, because the other day they were talking about you at Mr. C's and said like you had a channel and you went live. So I was like, Waffles has a channel and goes live.
They say they never talk about me. I find that funny, but yeah, no channel.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no channel. I don't need a channel.
Oh yeah, take care, RW. Thanks for hanging out.
Later, RW.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, since I guess the world's ending tonight, I figured I wanted to get in.
I gotta come back. Hold on.
I wanted to get in on a Jeff panel before the world ended.
Oh, I think it's for Iran. It's going to end. I think we'll be okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I think we're going to be okay. I hope we make that shit a parking lot and move on with life.
Well, I hope we leave something there for the people to form a functioning nation with.
Yeah.
But I don't know why Iran keeps playing with us. Like
It's a good wish, but I when I get into this debate with people, I always revert back to, every president for my entire lifetime has said someone's got to deal with Iran. Someone's got to deal with Iran. And nobody actually did. I mean, Obama flew him, a plane full of money, or flew them a plane full of money. Biden didn't do anything, and this is the first person to actually do something. So, I'm going to wait. I'm going to assume the president knows a little bit more than my dumb ass down here knows, and see what happens and judge him after the fact,
Yeah. So, I mean, so far we're making tremendous progress. I wouldn't call this a fair fight at all.
Right. I'm happy.
People that think we're somehow losing the war, I don't know what they're looking at.
Well, it's the socialist war of Americans who are defending, I mean, these are the people that go out with Palestinian flags.
Wait a second. Who left? Why can't I hear Waffles?
Oh, Ren dropped off.
I can't hear nobody.
You might have
What
to
the
drop
fuck?
off again.
Uh-oh.
Wait, she dropped off to reset her sound. Let's see if it worked. Otherwise, she might.
I think I'm back. Yeah, all of you guys went silent, and I can see your, that
Are you on an iPhone?
Yeah. Are you on an Apple product?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So that's why we can hear each other, but we can't hear them too.
But if you drop off, then it's going to do it to her. So how do you both? Because if you
we gotta leave together and come back together. That's the way to get our audio back. So
we gotta come and go together.
Together in the count of three. You ready? One,
that's the way
2,
it'll work.
3.
Here, I'll knock you off. Ren, come back.
Just for people out there, I know this has been going on with StreamYard. I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in real quick. I'm using Apple products, but I am hardwired in. And I will say that every time I've tried to use StreamYard wirelessly, I get fucking issues. But hardwired into my switch in my basement, I have not had one issue.
So it might have something to do with the wireless.
Yeah, I really think, the iOS 26, while very ambitious and, is probably good. It doesn't, every single app, there's functionality that has to be updated. And, I think StreamYard has just been pocketing our money all these years and never, built out and was ready for everything that came with iOS 26.
Yeah, their app was never great anyway, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed some connectivity bugs, like some, weird little, like somebody updated something and this app isn't quite back in alignment.
Yeah.
Stuff happened in the last week in several places.
And I'm actually using a legacy Apple product to do my streaming and panel joining and whatnot. But I was cleaning my garage and moving everything around, and I had unplugged the wire I ran out here specifically for this. And I kept getting drops. I kept getting in the middle of my stream hanging up, all sorts of weird shit, and it was plugging that in literally solved every issue.
Yeah, I either have Starlink or LTE where I'm at. So
you have the Starlink set up? All right, Jeff, do you mind if I ask some Starlink questions?
Go ahead. I have anything else to do.
How are you enjoying it compared to what we would call traditional high-speed internet?
So I live in a rural area, so I'll preface this with this. So the best I have ever had was short distance beamed Wi-Fi from the nearest town center. So it was beamed about 10 miles. And that was pretty good for a while, and then it got overloaded, and then they discontinued it. I've seen all the satellite. We've been on all different satellite internets. Those are all terrible. Basically, it's the first internet that we've had out here that I really have no complaints with. Like, I can game with it. I mean, the round trip time isn't noticeable in most cases. I mean, there's a few minor things. If you were like professionally sim racing or something, you might notice like round trip time lag or something. But in general, like, I'm very pleased with it. Like, I think we're actually about to get tied into the rural fiber line they've been building for 20 years, 15 or 20 years, and it's like I don't know. Like we'll probably test it out, but I don't actually expect it to be better than Starlink because I don't know that because I know people in town that got it. There's people in town got the rural internet first, and it was the early days. It was great, and then they lost a lot of like it went downhill as they put more and more houses on it. So
yeah, my father is, or my parents, I should say, are in a very rural area, and it was weird. We were literally checking the fiber. They had a fiber map for their area about where they're expanding fiber to next, and it's like we've been waiting for years for it to finally get out to him, and he's been on that HughesNet bullshit.
Oh, HughesNet was awful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Right? And I'm a tech nerd, so like I was always like I learned that we were throttled. Like we would be like when it was somewhat locally administrated, I would be like I had to kind of go argue and be like, look, stop throttling me. Like I'm not torrenting a lot, right? It's like, but I do use the internet and I do game, back in the day, and it's like
fuck that. I've been trying to get my parents to be on like the streaming sticks and use Netflix and use these things because they literally still use the fucking antenna in the area they're at.
Oh,
which I'm
my dad has cable, but I've been trying to do the same thing. I was like, Dad, I'll pay the extra for all these apps so you can get rid of it and save you some money.
I bought my dad a 55-inch TV. He gave it back because he's like, my entertainment center only holds a 32, so that's all we're getting.
Dude, my dad they have a smart TV, and dude, I'll go try to put Netflix on. My dad's like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, Dad, don't worry about it. It's all good there, buddy.
I put all that shit on their TV, and then I leave, and they're like, "Oh my god, our TV's all fucked up. You messed everything up. We don't know how to do this." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, so I'd say our parents are similar in age.
So I'll go over there.
I actually don't have that problem with my parents or my one remaining grandparent. Like he's more tech savvy than some people my age at this point. Like, there's limitations, but he's very like pro tech. So he's
my dad taught me how to be a tech. So that's why it's weird for me to be this way. And now my mom has surpassed him. So he's the dumbest one in the fucking house now. And I'm like, oh my God. He fell for the, hello, sir. This is Microsoft. I need to fix something in your computer. You need to give me $168. And he fucking gave him his credit card. I'm like, Dad, Microsoft's not going to fucking call you and update your computer. He's like, well, I didn't want to bother you at work. And,
oh, wow.
I'm like, Dad, open up TeamViewer. Let me log in. He's like, oh, I deleted that program. I didn't need it. I'm like, Pop, that's how I fucking log in and manage everything. So then just trying to get him to re-download. Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, yeah, my mom's, she was like, I always laugh because it's like, I'm like sort of like a late Zennial, so like I remember before everybody cared where I was at all hours of the day, but then I also grew up with computers because my mom had a degree in computer science, and so we always had like, they were old computers, and I could play like text-based, Wheel of Fortune and Canasta on them, but like I it's like I have like the comfort with them, like younger kids, but yeah, so and my dad, he's sort of like a voluntary Luddite, like he's genuinely one of the smartest people I know. And, if he gets interested in something, like he taught himself to build violins by reading books for a year, and they're amazing, right? Like and he's, half deaf and has no musical talent. He does it all via electrical instruments and stuff and tunes them. But
well, I remember the first computer I used was the fucking old Apples where you had to put the true 5.5 by 7 floppy disk in.
Yeah.
Wait. Can you guys hear each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. And I hear Jeff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was mostly 3x5s. Like I had all the Carmen Sandiego games, not 3x5.
Yeah,
the 3.5s, not 3.5s is what
my first computer was a Tandy from Radio Shack, a fucking 386.
Yeah, I don't know which ones my mom had. I remember she got this like an early Dell or Gateway. Like it was the first sort of like modern style PC we got, right? And you could do the AOL, and you could listen to the thing try to go through the phone line for 30 minutes, and if the stars were aligned, you would manage to like
That was
get
in the
on the line,
90s.
do email. Yeah. But yeah, I had a bunch of like I played a lot of DOS games, right? Like I had basically like I started on computers running DOS. Like I remember the first Windows graphical OS I got to. I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
What was
Yeah,
it?
we're
Wasn't it
the
Windows 3.11 or something like that?
yeah, we're Windows 95, 98. We're the last of the Mohicans. We're the last ones that can remember what life was like before all this shit, and we're not too old where we're shut out of everything new like Phil is here.
Dude, do you remember when when Windows XP come out, dude? That was like other than 98, that was the greatest fucking thing ever.
Leggy,
That
it
was
took
like
Leggy,
AOL.
Leggy, it took me.
PC running it. Like I still have my first PC around, and it will stay on Windows XP forever until it gets nuked. Like
It took me till 2008 to get my dad off of Windows XP.
I loved XP.
Brought him a brand new computer, set it all up, it was done. I didn't even get off the flight coming fucking home, and this motherfucker brought the old box back in and reconnected it to use his XP because he didn't want to use whatever I had upgraded him to at the time.
So Vista was like
terrible. Vista was trash.
Vista was worse than trash. It was like aggressive trash. It was
still like 20 years old, ain't it?
Multiplying trash. And then you had
we're in the day.
Was the only one when I worked in IT, like everything was still on 7. Like 7 was sort of the only acceptable reasonably modern Windows. And
what is Windows on right now? What number are they on? Windows.
Do what?
What number is Windows on right now?
What, like 11?
I'm on everything in my industry is on 11.
11.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that like if I was where I was in like doing IT for like a college campus, if my boss was still running, I bet he would keep everything on 10 as long as he could, because that's what we basically did. We ran 7 until we absolutely could not.
So if you were in IT, then you remember the disastrous failure people even forget to mention, Windows ME. Before Vista came out.
Like, I mean, I wasn't in IT at that time.
ME? I guess I don't remember that one.
Like
it's Windows Me. Windows Me.
It was disappointing, but it wasn't evil like Vista.
Oh. Yeah, when Vista came out, that's what drove me into the Mac universe. I was a staunch Mac hater because I felt like I could build my own PC, fuck Mac, until I started getting into video and production, and I tried
media work. Was always better on. The
I
Mac.
tried everything from Alienware to XPS to everything. None of them did what an Apple did right out of the box, opening it.
No,
so you're an Apple guy?
I was pretty proud of back when.
I prefer Apple. Apple is what I'm using, now here to do this. But where, with what I do for a living and everything, I'm proficient in Windows, and everything is Windows based. So
well, back then I was young, and so my main thing on a PC was like I kept my business books, and I got audited when I was 6, so I've been doing that and made to pay taxes, so that's why I was keeping books as a kid. But
out of curiosity.
But mostly I gamed, so Windows was kind of the only choice back then for gaming.
If Apple is so good, as you say, French toast, but you're using Windows, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't companies use Apple instead?
Well, it's kind of a loaded question. So, I that's why I said personally for what I do personally, and in video production and all of that, Mac hands down. For what I do that's more IT related for my career for a living, everything is Windows, so I can't not be in it, so I'm in it. But I will tell you, every professional production, award show, stadium, anything, they're using Macs. Real people in production are using Macs. They're just hands down better when it comes to that. When you talk about anything else, yeah, bro, put in whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in college, like they had, everything's running Macs except for the media lab, right? Like where the film students did work, and it was full of Macs. I actually own that media lab because they sold it at auction. So I have a whole stack of G5s, like tricked out. Like I don't know what those things cost when they were tricked out G5s.
So I used to build. There used to
Power
be
Mac.
something. There used to be something back in the day. I'm sure it still exists in some other way, but it was called Hackintosh. So basically, these 10 times bigger nerds than I'll ever be figured out if you use certain PC hardware, you could install OS X on it. Now I'm dating myself, so this was OS X days. And you could basically build your own Mac, for a quarter of the cost. So let me tell you, I built for so many recording studios. I can't tell you how many of those I built just because they wanted to save the money, for what they would have spent on one basic Mac. They got like 5 or 6 of these. Well, they called them back, Hackintosh.
Right. Was OS X, was that, I'm trying to think, they had the names, like, which one was like Snow Leopard or something?
Yeah, that was after. That was after. Okay. Yeah.
Because the ones I got, they were running, I think, like, about that. The Power Max, like, because of the hardware, Snow Leopard is as high as I can get. But I managed to
Snow Leopard, Yosemite.
Them, but I have them to where I can like image. I imaged a disc and I can put Snow Leopard on all these. And I have like a dozen of them.
Phil, what's up?
What up, brother, man? Just chilling, man.
You should go look into some like recording studio stuff, old software.
Just trying to hear your conversations. I was hearing Leggy talking about shit earlier. I was driving home.
Oh,
and then they called me, so I was on the phone. Be safe for like 35 minutes.
Oh.
He's all alone. I gotta give him some company.
How's he alone? Does he have his dog?
I'm just breaking his balls. He's got his kids there and shit. I'm breaking his balls.
He's one of the least alone people I know.
Quick little phone bone.
Yeah, the phone bone. Exactly what it was. French toast phone bone. My wife calls him my fucking second wife. He's like, "Oh, your fucking husband's calling you." I'm like,
"You're homo-romantic." That's the thing. A lot of guys.
Whatever, man. I mean, like sometimes people call, you need someone to talk to. Sometimes it's about bullshit. Sometimes it's like, hey, maybe you need someone to talk to. I get it. So I give them some time. But I dedicate it a specific time. Like, hey, that's what it is. I gotta cut it short. I'm out. I got home. I'm trying to chill. So you got things to do. I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm gonna go on fucking YouTube, like, until I want to be done.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Success,
yes.
I've successfully found someone to talk to for like the last 12 hours of me not feeling like sleeping. So
yeah, she's been
a good run
since last night. She hasn't even been to bed yet.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
She came here hoping we would put her to sleep.
Oh, probably going to be my last conversation. Hopefully, I'll be able to go sleep here in a while.
Just have Leggy start talking about lobsters. You'll be asleep real quick.
Just speak monotone. Listen, we're speaking about lobsters.
I love learning.
You need to close your eyes and just relax. You've been up for over 12 hours.
You're telling me what to do. That doesn't make me relax at all. So that doesn't work.
What works?
No, Leggy actually has.
What works? Adderall works. I'll be honest. Like if I had to go to sleep, I would go take half a tablet right now.
Okay.
Give me them 20 milligrams. She said.
It's about right. Like that's usually take 15. Usually, will help is sufficient to work as a sleep aid.
Do you have like a setup, or are you just on a laptop on your couch? Or do you have like a desk set up, or you at a whole little station, or?
Not right now. Like I need to get another one set up. Right now I'm just sort of in random places. Okay. But I kind of have like I have a bit of a like setup sometimes on my couch, but I'm not there right now.
I built a setup in my garage, but the thing about my setups is I got to be standing. I don't have a place to come sit and,
Sit in
feel
your car like I do. I sit in my car, bro.
Yeah.
This is my zone.
I can't
Yeah,
manage the standing all the time yet. I'm still. I have like a chronic illness, so like I'm beating it back, but I prefer standing up, doing a lot of things, but I have to make myself sit down.
unfortunately, where I come from on YouTube, if I was able to cam up, I would be doing exactly what Phil does. Because smoking and sitting in the car
That's what I
is
do.
is a great vibe.
It is the best vibe, man. Just relaxing. You got your own world. Nobody can bother you. You can close the fucking windows. Fuck the whole world. You're focused on this.
I was like I used to back in, so I'm like a vet. I'm like, I go way back on being on live streams on YouTube, like back when you had to, build your own bot to keep a meeting room open and upload it to the channel. So but back in the day, I used to I'd go sit on my porch and like smoke a cigar. Nothing interesting was going on. That was a good way to spend a live stream.
I would smoke cigars when I'm on vacation.
I smoke cigars so that I don't smoke cigarettes. Same reason I drink good whiskey. It's like I decided sometime, many years ago that when I was very young, I decided that you couldn't, it would be fruitless to try to not have any vices. So I should be better off just like picking them. So I chew on toothpicks and have a few others. And then later I figured out I can either become a nicotine addict or I can cultivate a taste for the finer products in the arenas of, nicotine and whiskey.
Well,
so
that's my kind of my problem.
choice.
When you drink alcohol, it makes you want to have the nicotine.
Well, like good whiskey and a good cigar go well together. But
I don't mind. I don't mind
I have them intermittently, but I have good stuff, so that way I don't. Yeah, because I understand the lure of nicotine, because I have, as my Adderall as a sleep aid might indicate, I have pretty severe ADHD. So it's a miracle I've managed to not become a nicotine addict. Everyone else.
I don't mind a cigar, for an occasion or something, a wedding, a birth, a bachelor party or whatever. But I smoke weed. I don't like cigarettes. Never have. But I spent half my life. I was smoking blunts since I was like 15, and it wasn't until turning 40 that I'm like, damn, they got me. I could smoke 5 blunts in a day because the nicotine, it got me going. Like I'm not, who am I fooling? Just because I don't smoke cigarettes, these blunts are just like nicotine. And sure enough, I kicked smoking blunts, haven't smoked blunts, hella moons. And now I can have one joint, come out to the garage, take 3, 4 puffs, 5 puffs, put it out.
Yeah, that's what I do, bro. I have a little too. I put it back in there.
We got video footage, evidence, Your Honor.
I smoke the most weed hanging out, talking shit online with motherfuckers. I smoke more, that I could smoke. I could put down a whole joint, but I really don't have the desire where, the first half of my life smoking weed, I'm like, damn, all these blunts, I was a smoker.
Yeah.
But it used to be cheap back in the days. I mean, for $10, you could buy a fucking 40 ounce, a fucking Philly, a box of Newport, and a Nickelback for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I got a buddy that, man, he'll take them backwards and I swear to God, this motherfucker's so stingy with weed when he puts it the fuck in. By the time you get halfway through, it's like a fucking nicotine overload. It's like,
he mixes it. They put like
tobacco.
No. It's just weed, but he doesn't use a lot of weed. Now me, when I roll one, I fucking roll one out of it, and it's not so bad. But him though, he fucking just sprinkles the fucking weed in it and then rolls it.
It's so skimpy that you're smoking the whole leaf in reality.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what you're doing. Yeah, I fucking hate it.
When I was hanging out with Jamaicans, that's when I got put on to backwoods. They were heavy into that.
That may or may not have been who I was hanging out with.
But that's not. I'm not saying every but that's how backwoods came into my life. I was like I was a Dutch Master, Garcia Vega type.
Yeah, Garcia Vega's dog, Dutch Master.
Maybe a white owl, only natural leaf, none of that Philly shit, none of that cardboard. It had to have an actual, leaf around it.
Well, at first,
the Garcia Vegas had the leaf around the whole tube.
It was the
you used to cut it and unwind it, and then you roll it, and then wind it with the whole leaf.
No, you would roll it back up, and then you would use syrup in between that layer, and that shit would burn so fucking slow. Honey dipped, syrup dipped blunts, basically, because you were able. The blunt wasn't sticky. You were able to hide it in that layer in
Under the
between
leaf.
wrapping.
Under the leaf, yeah. I got
And
you.
then you pop that bitch back in the tan tube and sell them motherfuckers when you hit the street for $20 a piece.
Yo. Hustle and flow, baby. Hustle and flow.
Dude,
Exactly, but
It
no,
was
when I
the
was a
green
teenager,
tube,
dude, we
the
used to
green
sell all
tube.
the Hispanic guys that come because they'd want fucking weed, right? So we'd fucking just roll up fucking whatever the fuck, oregano, whatever. If it looked like pot, we'd fucking roll it up and sell it to them for like $10 a joint, too. Not even 5. It was $10. Here, you want a joint? $5.
no, I've
I mean,
always
$10.
had I've always had a rule in life. Some guy when I was in high school put fucking Coke in a blunt, and it tasted. It tasted so fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? And I like throw that shit. I'm like, what is it? And they were laughing. They're like, oh, it's whatever the fuck they call when they
Yeah,
add
I've
it.
never done that.
So
a
since
Wu-Tang? A Wu-Tang has
A
crack. in it.
Jiffy.
yeah, whatever the fuck,
Jeffrey or whatever the fuck.
a Jeffrey, whatever the fuck. It was that moment that I vowed I will never smoke anything I didn't see rolled, or I've got to like really trust you. Like I'm not no more of this in public. I went to Up in Smoke tour, concert, and motherfuckers just passing weed around the entire stadium. Nope, I got my own. Thank you.
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to. When I went to Papa Roach last summer, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to smoke no joints. Sure enough, fucking these joints come around. My dumb ass was smoking them.
No,
Ah.
nope.
I was like, fuck.
I was traumatized in high school from that shit because I've never done anything, other than some mushrooms or whatever. I've never done really anything else like Coke. None of that shit ever appealed to me. None of the pills. none
Yeah,
of that.
same here.
But yeah, when I'm like, yo, you don't even ask somebody before you do that shit. Oh,
Yeah, I've never done anything like that now. And I was like
I've done them
15
all. I've done
years
them all. I
old
don't give a
too,
fuck.
working on the blueberry field. So like, my boss
You used
knew
to
it.
work
He
in the
goes, I
blueberry
don't give a
field?
fuck as long as you ain't selling real pot. He goes, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. So like, but I was 15 years old and didn't know better. Nowadays, fuck, I would expect to
Just for
get
the
my ass
record,
beat
I
for
didn't mean
doing
to cut
something
you
like
off,
that.
Leggy, but for the record, because Leggy talking right now, out of all this conversation we had, all Jeff heard is that you worked at a blueberry field. Like he
Yeah,
obviously
because
nothing else.
I'm jealous.
it.
I love picking blueberries. I can't believe you guys
Dude,
do that.
He
for a
was
alright,
just like,
living.
wait
so
a minute, you work at a blueberry field?
So
Like,
the
fuck the crack,
beauty
fuck
part
the
about
coke,
down East
fuck the
Maine,
blunt.
right, and Maine in
It's all the
general,
blueberry field. You are at a
It's a lot
blueberry
of
field?
junkie.
right? Right. So Maine in general, right? So you got down East Maine, which is and Cherryfield, which funny enough, Cherryfield, Maine, is the blueberry capital of the world.
I'm jealous.
Not
I hate-
Blueberry Field, Maine, but Cherryfield, Maine.
Well, if I
It's a
ever
blue-
make it up there, we're going to pick blueberries.
I'm pretty
'cause
sure
you
Don
got
County is the
Cherryfield
cranberry
Foods
capital of the
and
world.
Lyman's.
Hey
There.
guys, I'm really sorry, but I got a real life is calling. I got to step away.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
If
What you
I
gotta
can
do,
free
brother,
up,
man?
if I can free up, I'll jump back. But if not, I'll see you on the
No
next
doubt.
one.
How
All
you,
right,
brother,
cheers
man?
out,
Hey,
Waffles.
take care.
Appreciate you guys.
Waffles.
Thanks, Jeff.
You as well. I'll be out tomorrow.
Talking about sketchy sourcing of things. I'm like the only thing I unit accept out from sketchy people in parking lots is tamales because those are always the best ones.
I wouldn't even do that. you know.
No, those are the best ones. Those are the best
and now
ones.
I
She
have
ain't
to
lying.
refresh
Fuck
'cause I
that. Those
couldn't
are
do anything.
homemade. Those are fucking homemade. They're giving things to the homemade.
They just give them out in parking lots.
I mean, they could, and they have enough
Oh,
of
they
them. Why
did.
not?
Well, I remember. Oh, wait. Can you hear me? Jeff, can
Yeah,
I
we can hear you.
Oh, because he left.
No, yeah. I
You
want
have
to make
drop
sure because
off
she left.
before Ren comes back.
I can hear. I can hear you.
You can
I
hear
can hear
him?
you.
hear Phil?
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
So, anyways, yeah. Fuck, man. I remember being a teenager working in the fields, and they had certain women that would stay back, and that's what they did. They would cook, right? And then they would come out and sell you a lunch for. I think at the time it was $8. You got is it a Hoya? Is that how it's pronounced, Hoya? Or
I'm not
the-
sure. Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Mexican. But my wife's Mexican. But
Well,
she makes good food.
Whatever. Anyways,
No, I got you. I just don't know what Oya is. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
well,
That's what I'm trying to say.
it's the soda. Their soda, the Mexicans.
Yeah,
However the fuck you say it, right?
Oh, Jota, yeah.
Yeah, however you say it, right? And then you could get either chimichangas. Almost, boo boo. We got about 20 minutes left. Okay.
But the chimichangas, they're almost done.
No, chimichangas, and they would have tamales.
Oh, you said 20 minutes. I thought it was chimichangas they're cooking right now.
No. My kid, she asked how long for dinner. I'm making buffalo chicken dip for dinner. So.
Buffalo chicken dip. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I'm having leftover enchiladas and tamales and tacos from Easter.
Oh, the tamales, dude. I love tamales.
Did you cook all that?
My wife did, all homemade. We have it every Easter. Every Easter we eat Mexican food. It's all homemade, and everyone comes over, and people take home food with that. Huh?
Did you have eggs?
Did I have eggs, like Easter eggs?
Yeah.
You know what, Jeff? I bought 2 fucking bags because I have a little fucking niece. You know, she's like a year and a half, and then another little boy that's part of the family, and they didn't even come over.
Oh, so no dying, no Easter egg hunts, none of that.
No, and I used to do it with the kids when they were teenagers. I used to put money in there. I'm like, fuck that. Fuck them motherfucking kids. Like, they get all the goddamn money from my ass. I ain't giving them shit. Fuck an Easter egg. You get a fucking free meal.
Do you eat fried eggs on your enchiladas?
I have.
Okay, I was just curious. But is it like eggs, enchiladas? I'm like, those things do go together.
Yeah.
But around here, a lot of people eat tamales for Christmas. Yeah, they do. They do. Like, they're like the best food.
You can use them eggs. You can use them to egg their house, Phil. No, I had like fucking eggs that I fucking filled. I filled them up with candy and shit.
The plastic eggs, the toy eggs.
And the fucking kids didn't even show up. You're right. You know what? I was better off doing a real egg and throwing them at her goddamn house. I was better off doing that for not showing up.
And, some of them were cooked and some of them weren't, and then we would play catch, and we would see who.
Oh yeah, we used to do the egg toss. You do the egg toss and see who catches it. You got a fucked up egg.
Really. Some of these are good eggs. Some of these are hard boiled. Some of them are not.
Yeah, must have been a bad chicken. That must have been a bad chicken.
Yeah, we're like, all right,
Fuck, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be cutting down a tree. A bunch of trees fell down on my house with that ice storm I had. So they're gonna be coming in Monday to be picking up all the fucking branches that you have fallen. But they have to be 6 feet or less. I'm gonna be chainsawing all these fucking branches and putting them in front of my house.
Are you gonna stream it?
Nah, I ain't gonna stream that shit. I streamed the ice damage that I got on the property.
How's your house? What happened to it?
Basically, we had an ice storm like Tuesday or Wednesday, so all these trees. Keep in mind, we had fucking 28 inches of snow 2 weeks earlier. It all melted because we had like 70-degree weather. And then I think the trees thought it was spring, right? And then the ice storm came through and all the branches got full of ice and they just broke. Like throughout the whole state. So it wasn't just like in my little city, but everywhere around the whole state, branches are falling everywhere because of the weight of the ice.
Did it damage your house?
No, they didn't fall on my house. I got like fucking 15 trees on my property, but there is fucking one that I want to get rid of because it's by my neighbor's house. And I just thought in my head, I have insurance, but I would hate to have to pay $10,000 to fix my neighbor's house so I can fix my own goddamn house. So I'd rather just pay an arborist to come down. Not that I would have to pay, but still, I don't want to be held liable for that kind of shit. I'd rather pay an arborist to take the tree down and not worry about it. But that's still going to be like $1,000, dude. Them arborists are fucking highway robbery, dude.
I know a guy that would do it for $200.
Well, the problem is this. I appreciate arborists. I appreciate arborists if they're around power lines, if they're around your house, you're trying to avoid the tree falling on your property or cause damage. But if anywhere else, it's like, bro, like it shouldn't be that expensive, bro. Come here with a chainsaw, climb that bitch, cut it down. You know, you give me some goddamn Modelo's and a goddamn half ounce of weed. I got that shit straight.
Yeah, depending on what kind of wood it is, you know, it's like if
It's a
if
pine tree.
useful wood,
It's a pine tree.
Dude, so
pines may I don't know. Circles I ran in, pine wouldn't go for it, but yeah, like hardwood trees and anything like that, it's like it's pretty easy. You like find somebody who wants the wood, and they'll be
Well,
like,
I mean, I want the wood though. If I cut the tree down, I mean, I burn wood. So like, I mean, and I don't burn it like an out. I don't have
See
a house.
that tree right there?
But...
Yeah.
So we got a kid in about 5 years ago. It fucking climbed. Somehow it got outside and it climbed this tree and it went to that fucking branch that's broken off. There's a branch that comes out right there, right?
Yeah.
It climbed up there and it fucking stayed up there for 5 fucking days. We wind up having to hire somebody to come climb the fucking tree to come get it, right? Then they only made it to that branch and it broke and they said fuck that. They weren't going any higher because they didn't think the tree was safe. So then they brought in a fucking big scissor, like 80-foot fucking lift and got the fucking thing. Dude, that cost me like $1,000 to get that fucking cat.
Bro, that boom lift, if that is that boom lift, it costs you an arm and a leg to use that shit.
I was like, what the fuck? But dude, 5 days. Like
we tried, they said do all this shit. So like I had a ladder, right?
Fuck that
and
cat.
I got up
that
as far as
fall.
I could put on the 40-foot ladder, and I fucking I threw a rope up and around and tied a basket to it and put canned food in there, right? And everybody's like, yo, get in that basket and then you can lower it down. So then I fucking went to lower it down because it got into the basket and then the motherfucker jumped out of the basket.
And he died anyways. That's the end of the story?
No, he didn't die. He didn't die. Motherfucker's still alive.
Your cat? Was it your cat?
Well, it's my kid's cat.
Okay, that makes more sense, at least. That makes more sense. At least for the kids, I get it. I get what you're saying now.
Trust me, we got one cat. If it wasn't my kid's cat, it would no longer be here. He's a fucking asshole, and I don't like him.
I don't like cats.
I don't really like cats. One cat. I don't mind one cat, but my wife deemed it necessary for us to have more than one, so...
well, how many you have?
But the cool thing is, where I live in the woods, in the summertime, every morning you come outside to you know, the field mice and the fucking moles and frogs and whatever other fucking creature they catch. Because, I mean, I do. I live in the woods and it's fucking... There's a bog, a swamp bog. Well,
oh, yeah,
swamp,
they come in.
A marsh. There's a saltwater marsh out behind me. I gave up on trying to have chickens because every year I've had chickens. No matter what I've done, they've got 8. So
yeah, the coyotes will fucking eat them fuckers up quick, bro.
No, raccoon.
Oh,
get you a Great Pyrenees dog.
Well, I got a pit bull, but
yeah, but pit bull's not a herd dog. But like my mom used to live up in the pasture in a trailer house before she got married, miles from anything, and coyotes everywhere. And she had Great Pyrenees dog, and she could let her chickens run around the house, unfenced.
Yeah, but you also have to have the dog outside, and he has to live he has to have a heated room.
So we did have foxes, but I let the dog out after the foxes, and they disappeared. They never came back. But the raccoon, I did catch one of the raccoons because I had a beautiful fucking duck, right? Beautiful, well, male and female mallet, right? And absolutely beautiful ducks. Well, fucking, the female disappeared, and I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't really catch it on the camera. Well, the next night, I put the duck away, but somehow he got the fuck out of his pen, or the raccoon got into the pen, I don't know. Next thing I know, I see the raccoon on camera running out across the fucking thing, and there was the raccoon. Well, I got that fucking raccoon.
There you go.
He had the duck.
And do you put metal under your chicken coop, like under the floor, so it goes around the wall, so they can't bite through it and go under the ground?
Well, it was a wooden coop. It was a wooden coop that I had tapped off. But I think it was my door, because I left like a 3-inch space at the top of the door, and I think it was enough for the fucking raccoon to reach in and hit that latch. So
Yeah, they ain't fucking dumb, bro. They're fucking smart.
no,
We get skunks. Is what we get that'll do that. They run around at night. And,
Polecat. I remember
catch
oh, we
chickens.
got a skunk too. Fucking my landlord put in a culvert across the driveway to help for drainage, and fucking all it's done is made a nest in there, and I can't get the fucking thing out every time I try. Something either.
Hey, Leggy, speaking of cats. Leggy, speaking of cats.
That's what bird shots for.
Well,
like to hide.
I would do it, but I have a neighbor. Like, I don't have neighbors, but I have one neighbor. And Jeff.
You had that neighbor, that lady.
Well, it's not the same lady. It's not the egg lady.
Oh.
And not to be confused with the egg lady from the murder case either. Because there was an egg lady there.
Separate egg lady?
Yeah.
Speaking of neighbors, check this out. My fucking neighbor looks like the guy from fucking Men in Black, the alien, and Men in Black 1.
You gotta be a little bit more detailed.
The alien that comes down, he takes the guy, he takes the forward body, he's like, walking around like, he wants the fucking cat, the jewel, to go to the fucking outer space. Men in Black, Part 1. You never saw it?
I remember that dude. Yeah, that was like the scariest monster on the whole thing. Was
he
like
wears like a flannel shirt, you know.
Yeah, wearing
he was
like
the
a farmer skin alien. Like that was a proper like monster.
And he wore the skin of the human, so his face was like lagging down. He talked all weird, like
yeah.
That motherfucker looks just like that motherfucker, yo. I swear to God, every time I see him, I'm like, oh my God, my wife's gonna get fucking, be hit by an alien, and she's gonna come into the house, and now she has the goddamn disease. But I just saw him right now. It reminded me of him. And then I also, Leggy, I had this winter, I had a cat that was under my porch. And he lives around my house, but not like straight on my house. But he was under my porch in the wintertime. And I'm like, whatever, the cat needs to live somewhere. And he had 5 kittens, or she had 5 kittens. I saw her like in November with 5 kittens. And then come December, she is down to 4. Then she was down to 3. And now you see her by herself.
So this crazy neighbor that we had, right? So the story is, she moved in, and me and the wife kind of become friendly with her, right? Because she was nice and whatever. Well, we were out of the house, me and her. The 2 older girls were upstairs asleep or whatever. Because, it was vacation or whatever. Whatever teenagers do. And anyways, me and the wife were busy and shit and got home. Fucking the neighbor was walking out of our house. I was kind of like, what the fuck? The wife looked at me and was pissed. She's like, what the fuck was she doing? And I go, I don't fucking know. But looked at our phone. She had asked to borrow some eggs, right? But we had never responded to her. So she took it upon herself to walk into our house, take some eggs and all that. Well, she messaged us and tried to justify.
You didn't lock your door.
You don't do that in the country.
Yeah, I know. But she knew that too. That's why she knew the
55-year-old retired school teacher. It's like she retired during COVID. She was one of my kids' teachers. So I trusted her a lot. Like, she was an old fucking hippie.
Why wouldn't you give her the eggs if she was an old retired school teacher?
No. This was the old neighbor.
The eggs, but she
that
went
was
on her
the
own
old neighbor. I was talking about the old neighbor before the crazy neighbor. That's why I never locked my door, because I didn't have to worry. Anyways, so the new crazy neighbor that moved in after the old lady, she said she'd come in for the eggs and all this shit. Well, apparently she has this thing against cats, right? So my cats go outside. Well, she called, wherever she's from, apparently cats can't be running at large. It's a crime or whatever. She called the animal control about the cat. She was pissed that there's nothing they can do about it, because the cat's classified as a predatory animal and it has pretty much free range, right? Unless it's destroying property. So next time she takes a picture of the Cat walked up on her hood. She took paw prints of it. Pictures of the paw prints. And said, "Oh, the cat scratched me off." So then the sheriff come out and the fucking animal control and the sheriff looked at it and goes, "Lady, there's no way any of them scratches are from a cat." Like, you know what I mean? He could just tell. So finally, she looks at my 15-year-old daughter and goes, "Next time I'll shoot your fucking cat, right?" And so my wife calls the fucking sheriff. Sheriff gets here. Sheriff does absolutely nothing about it, right? She has the audacity to ask the sheriff if she can discharge a firearm, right? If she could discharge a firearm in between the two houses. I mean, I have a swamp, but there's fucking houses on either end of the swamp. So there's no way to, and then there's a road. So, anyways, asked if she could shoot the cat. The fucking sheriff had to call his supervisor to see if it was okay for her to discharge a firearm and shoot a cat in between two houses, which is less than 1,000 feet or yards or whatever the fuck it is. And then the house is out back here, right? He actually had
I
to
don't
call
rem-
his. I go, how
it's not
fucking
an obvious
stupid are
answer.
you? I
It's
go,
not an
how
obvious answer.
stupid of a
I don't
cop are
remember
you that
this
you?
part of the egg story.
Oh,
And it would depend
dude.
on the particulars of the firearm too. I mean, like, there's a lot of factors involved in
Well, I
answering that question.
understand that, but the
You're
state
saying
of Maine
1,000 yards.
clearly
1,000 yards
states
is a lot of gap between properties.
you can't
You can only
really
shoot a
shoot.
firearm.
Yeah, you have to have certain ranges to discharge a firearm unless your life's in immediate danger. And a
I
cat
don't
does
think
not.
you're
Yeah,
allowed.
but
A cat
1,000
doesn't
yards though,
fall
Maggie.
under that
1,000
category.
yards is
A
a lot of
dog
space,
does.
though.
And then, so get this. So then she asked the cop, does the state of Maine have red flag laws? Which we don't, right? We don't have red flag laws.
Well, at least good for you.
So-
yeah, those things are
So
awful.
when I
She is
when I
crazy.
talked to the cop, I go, just curious, why was she asking about the red flag law? I go, there has to be a reason why. So, and I go, and did you tell her that we do have a yellow card? We do have a yellow flag here in Maine, low law. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna go get her evaluated. I go, well, you probably should, since she's threatening to shoot telling a 15-year-old she's gonna shoot a cat in between two houses and other houses out back. Like, come on, she's a little batshit crazy, going batshit crazy about a cat. Like, woo-woo. Like, I'm all about gun rights, but you can clearly tell this lady was off her rocker and probably shouldn't have one.
I'm definitely like collecting your story in my stash for like when I make arguments against red flag laws, because it's like, here we have crazy lady clearly speciously inquiring about a red flag law in order to speciously use it against her neighbor whose cat has a problem.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a place for that law. I don't think it should be used just for fucking.
No, there isn't though. Like, there are laws that already existed before the red flag law to deal with those issues, and all the red flag laws do is disarm people who with no due process, and get cops and people shot because of badly executed searches and things. Like, it's not necessary. I have no they have no
Well,
good. There's
Yeah,
no
I
goodness.
mean,
to
I'm
red
not
flag
saying the
laws.
process is
Well,
perfect,
it
but
can
like,
also be
It's
like
far from perfect.
premeditated.
It's the opposite of perfect. It's terrible. And
She's
if you get
premeditated
one
trying
that
to
you
kill
have
the
a
cat.
few safeguards in, I guarantee the people that compromised on the safeguards will come back your next legislative session if you were to get one in, and they will remove the safeguards, and they will take away the things that say, oh, only somebody who has definitely is a family member or lives with you can red flag you, and then they'll take that off, and it's like, no, random crazy, like within a few years, random crazy ladies will easily be able to red flag anyone they want to with no prejudgment, because that's
I
what has
don't
happened.
think like
Because
I don't think the red flag should be you
fighting a lot of
automatically take their weapons. I feel like it should
But that's
be.
what it is. That's what it is.
I know.
That's what
That's
they
what I'm
use it
saying.
for.
It shouldn't be that.
Then it's
Like,
not a red flag law. It's something else, right?
yeah, I guess
That's
you're
how it
right.
starts.
Yeah. Okay, I'll agree with you. I will take this common ground and agree with you 100% on that.
All right.
Yep. I guess. Yeah. I guess my view. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
We
You
already
know,
have
personally,
restraining orders.
I
We
mean, I
already
just
have
feel like there is
wellness
certain
checks,
instances
right?
where where somebody should, like, there is family members that do see signs that, like, try to get
Yeah,
help
but right, but a
so, like,
mental health wellness check, most states already have that. Right, like there are kind of like what you said, maybe like a yellow flag, right? Like there existed ways to sort of like call for help if you thought somebody was mentally having issues. But the red flag laws, all they do is take guns away speciously with no due process.
I don't like wellness checkers.
yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, I don't like wellness checks great either. But the thing is
Yeah.
they already existed. Basically, the laws already covered the claimed reasons for the need of red flag laws. Red flag laws did not add any important functionality. They only added the ability to take guns away speciously and make them hard to get back.
You know, you've prompted me to do more research and do a little bit more homework. I'm not gonna lie.
Also another thing, wellness check, they use that to get into your house to look at shit, illegal seizures or illegal searches. Just because of wellness check, they have to go into your house, make sure you're okay. Are anybody with you? Are you by yourself?
Is this from
I don't like
experience?
those neither.
Oh Jesus, you talked out about it, so now it must be from experience, Phil.
It's a blueberry. It's a blueberry. You
I'm
with the
just
blueberry
asking.
farm.
I'm just asking. What does blueberries have to do with this?
I was just bringing it up because out of the whole thing, you just said that, so I was just using it against reference. I'm sorry.
I'm just
I don't
curious.
know.
If you're talking
Blueberries,
from experience.
blueberry feels first time I ever heard you couldn't put a spike where nail where a spike's
Personally,
in.
this is the first time I've seen Jeff intrigued with something like that.
Have you been blueberry picking?
Who?
Yes.
Have you ever picked blueberries?
Yes.
Do you not find it the most relaxing Zen thing in the world? I love picking blueberries.
No.
It's like meditating, just
I
keep being
call
that
it really
state.
back-breaking, sweaty fucking work.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you're
In the
not doing it
fucking
right.
heat
We're
of
gonna
the
have to go-
summer in the state of Maine on the blueberry barrens. It's like being in the desert because it's essentially sand with small shrubs on it. Like it's, yeah. Like if when the desert finally does start to grow back, it pretty much will grow like little shrubs, kind of like blueberries.
They used to grow on my last property along the whole fence. We used to just walk and just pick them all up and eat
Oh
them.
my God, I could pick blueberries all day.
Blueberries
we
and
ate-
raspberries.
Now I'm talking about short bush, not fucking the high bush like down in New Jersey either.
We're like, sorry.
I live in the desert, and like if everything goes right, every once in a blue moon, like if everything the conditions are right, we get sandhill plums blooming, and they're little scrubby bushes out in the
I got
sandhills. They're
I got
so
a
good.
plum tree in my house now. It's like it blossomed last year. I had so many plums. They were just
Yeah.
coming out, but I ate one. I was like, it was so juicy.
You know, these are like little bitty, like they're like the size of like cherries, and they're
They're
very
so
tall.
tiny. I said the same thing, Rogue. I was like, why is it so small? And I think the ones they sell in the store are like, oh, they're like mutated or some shit, because the ones that grow here, they're like that big only.
Oh yeah, no, but these are even smaller. Like, but they're wild, and they're like little short bushes. Like the tallest bush I've ever seen is maybe like 2 foot tall.
Oh no, this is a
And the
goddamn
trees, we
tree. This
don't
is
have
like
a lot
12
of, we ain't
feet.
got no trees here. Like I live in a man-made, like probably one of the biggest forests. It used to be like 2 acres of trees around this house because my great aunts went, because when their parents homesteaded here, which is where my parents live now, like they would go out to all the old like defunct homesteads and get the trees that the settlers had brought, and they brought them all back. So there's there used to be like a 2 acre grove. Part of it burnt down a few years ago, but it's growing back, of like black locust trees out in the middle of a prairie desert here.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like, 'cause other than that, it's like you see a tree like every once in a, like I know of like 3 trees on the whole property that are natural.
I'm a little under
For
2
miles.
acres now, but I used to be on 30 acres, and we had so many things growing, dude. It was dope.
Yeah, no, it's vegetation sparse and trees are sparser here, but
I imagine.
it's nice
In
to
the
have the
desert.
shade.
Where you at?
I'm in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
I like
I'm in Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm in Wisconsin.
I haven't been to Wisconsin. I've been to Ohio, so I've been a little bit up kind of the middle, and I've been underneath. I've been over like Missouri and across to Tennessee and up to New Jersey.
Wisconsin's a cultural fucking shock. What's up, Track?
I remember
Hey,
meeting
Track.
the first people I met from Wisconsin, and like it took me a few minutes to like process a translation algorithm for their accent. Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
well,
good at it. Like, I get the accents, but it took me a few minutes the first like true, like heavy, strong accent Wisconsinites I met.
oh no, though some of them are
My
fucking hard. Yeah, they're a, up there a.
just a warning, my phone's gonna die
They
and I'm
have the
gonna
A.
bounce
It's
off of
similar
here.
to
So
Massachusetts,
Ren,
or New Yorkers.
you might lose audio. Just
Yeah, and then
forewarning.
I
Some of
met
them a
some
little
people
stronger.
from, what is it, Michigan, and they do the thing, and they're like, "I'm from Michigan." Every time
Yeah,
you ask them, they
I'm right
punch their
right
name.
here. Yeah.
I love people from
Right.
Michigan.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Same concept. But I moved here in 2002. I moved here, and I've been here ever since.
I have a buddy who's from here, but he moved up to like Michigan, and he's been there. He's stayed up there. Yeah, it's a
Bye,
it's a
Leggy. I guess your
different,
phone died.
different place, but they're friendly.
What's
Most
up?
of the ones I've known.
Yo, pull up, track. You in the goddamn building? Pull up.
I know a song about there because there was this band called the Bananas at Large, and they had a song called the 30-Point
Large
Buck, and it was
Oh, the 30-point buck.
Yeah,
30-point
did you
buck.
see the 30-pointer? I used to
The
request that song all the
30-pointer.
time.
Yeah, they play that shit every fucking time over here, man.
Yeah.
I never heard that song until I moved to Wisconsin.
Oh, I heard it down here. Like there was a time when, but then I have then I bought some of their albums and I know some of their other songs too. But yeah,
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I grew up in Massachusetts, and we was in a city, and we didn't see deer. Like you had to go to the country, and maybe you might see them, but you never. Like here, I see them all. They're in my backyard every day. I see them driving on the road. I almost hit them motherfuckers every damn morning.
I guess it's
They're a pain in
whitetail
my
up there,
ass.
isn't it? Whitetail.
Yeah, they're a pain in my ass, dude.
Yeah, whitetail are basically like we have like there's pockets of mule deer down here, and every now and then you'll see like a whitetail, and we kind of have a what we call an SOS policy on those, or triple S, shoot, shovel, and shut up, because if the whitetails will overtake the other species.
Dude, they're like
And
stray
so
cats.
you
They're
gotta get rid
just
of them.
everywhere.
Yeah.
They're just roaming. They're like
Yeah,
stray cats, just going where the fuck they want to go.
Yeah.
Do they have antlers? You should respect them.
Yeah, the bucks have antlers, but they
Well,
don't. They start drawing them, and then they get mating season, and then they get into like controlling, and it don't even matter to me. I don't even hunt deer. They're in my backyard. I don't even hunt them.
Yeah, and deer are so stupid. Like, because we had one time. My dog brought one up on the porch, and it was a baby, and it's like there's no way to know where it came from. Like he's a herd dog, so he didn't hurt it. He just like brought it. He was like, hey, look what I found. And so we ended up raising it, and I had some cousins that had to raise one that got orphaned, and they're retarded. Like they look like they're smart from a distance, but it's like they're just goats. They're just retarded goats. Is what
I used to find them and then by themselves, the little babies, and then I found out that the moms will leave them somewhere, and they might leave for a day or two, then they'll come back.
Yeah, they'll come back.
But I didn't know that, so I was like, oh my god, this little baby deer, the mom probably died. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
We think it was a little baby deer. And then, like one time in the cornfield, I leave some land out to a farmer, and this farmer with his vulture just cut off this deer, dude. Like he cut off both his legs. The front legs were chopped over.
No, stop! Don't say that on here.
All right, I'm sorry. My bad.
The second one that we had to like bottle, I was cutting wheat, and I've done it for a long time, so I have pretty good instincts. If I see an obstacle, I immediately stop and shut the header off. And this is how retarded deer are at any age. Is I shut it off, shut the header off, and then because I had it took me a second. Usually takes me a second to process like why did I stop, and sure enough there's a little fawn out there. And as soon as I shut the machinery off on the header, it jumps up in the header and just starts like walking around.
No more animal.
It was fine.
No,
like
she's alive.
The
Turned it
was
off.
healthy.
She
It
turned
was
it off.
fine.
Oh.
Like everything was shut off. It's just like moments
having a heart
before
attack.
it had been a rather dangerous situation, but the dude's like, oh, it's stopped now. I'm just gonna jump up in this. This is neat. It's
I'm sorry, it's just farmer stories, Jeff. We just have all
we
farmer
can't do
stories.
animal gore on here.
Like I said, I save. I have my books, Adventures in Agriculture. I categorize them. The ones I'm not telling the ones that go in the Misadventures in Agriculture anthology.
Yeah.
That's a different category. This is just the regular old generally.
And I was going that way, but I understand the channel now, so we're veering off that.
Yeah, no, there's a difference. No, this one survived. It was, but But yeah, they're not smart animals. The ones we have that love Twizzlers licorice, and
And they just go wherever they want. These damn deer. They go literally. They go in front of your car. They'll
Where
stay
you
in the road.
expect them to go? They're animals.
They
They
move.
don't
They
know
just sit there.
like our
yeah, but they're dumb
boundaries.
animals. It's like, goats are respectably smart, right? Like if you meet a goat, you're like, a goat is a smart animal that will eat almost anything. A deer is a retarded animal that will eat anything, try to eat anything like a goat. Like one time we changed the tractor oil, we have a 5-gallon bucket of used, Rotella in the yard. It's all black, and I look over there, and the one that we had raised up, which is pretty big at this point, is over there drinking it. You're like, that's a retarded deer. Well, my
Drinking
favorite is
oil?
we have a place to a shooting range in front of our house out a few hundred yards, and I had some friends over, and well the first one I was sighting in my gun by myself from the front yard, and I put my head down and I had it on a rest because I was sighting in the scope, and I forgot I didn't put my ears on, so I pulled my head back up and put my ears on. That gum retarded thing was chewing on the hot muzzle, right? And you couldn't see
But
it
he
through the
doesn't know
scope.
it's
I'm
a
like,
gun.
go it.
Would a goat know?
Well, but I mean, it's a loud thing. Like
It's a noise. Yeah.
If they
It should be
don't,
like.
if they break them of the scared of loud noises like that, I'd go out shooting my Desert Eagle. It'd chew on my elbow while I'm shooting, and if you've ever seen one, it puts quite a bit of fire and smoke and loud off. Like it's not the sort of thing you want to stand next to. Generally,
Welcome,
and it
Trey.
didn't care. And then I had
50
friends
cal.
out one time, and we'd been shooting rifles, and they laid them there on the table, and here it comes, and it starts chewing on the ends of them, and it's just like, it's they're really dumb, and you don't want to have to fight them. The hooves are sharp because when ours got big, it kind of would have an attitude sometimes, and I had younger siblings that were smaller, so I'd have to fight it off and be like. I have squared off with a half-grown buck.
Shout out to Track.
Come out on top, but it's like they have sharp little toes. But if you can get a hold to their antlers, you can basically jujitsu them however you need to, right? Like you get a hold to those big old handles on there. It's like, all right, you can jujitsu them and throw them to the ground, and they can't do much of anything.
Now, Rogue, out of curiosity, you say you have mule deer out there that are in your area, and you have some whitetail. You want to just the 3 S's. I get you. Now, is the whitetail versus the mule deer better meat? Because I don't eat venison.
I don't
but
think so.
They say venison's delicious. I'm just asking.
Well, I mean, the mule deer is much bigger. It's a much meatier animal. It's as far as I know, I don't know anybody that I can't tell you definitively. I don't know anybody that prefers whitetail.
Okay.
Most of the experience I've had, people would prefer mule. But yeah.
Well, there's no mule deer in our area. That's probably why they like the whitetail out here.
If you let the whitetail will outbreed them, and because the mule deer are much bigger, right, and the whitetail are more rabbit-like in their proliferation.
And, I got you.
Yeah, but not like I said, every now and then you'll see one, and they can crossbreed, right? But I think the genetics will kind of overwhelm too, to a certain extent.
What do you prefer? What do you prefer? You prefer mule deer or fucking whitetail deer?
I honestly haven't had both to compare, so go ahead. Untrackable.
Oh no, it's it's an objective thing about preference, or maybe that's subjective. But if it's something that you did, if it's the animal that you got, of course you're going to tell everybody, yeah, that was amazing because you did the work. You connected with your primitive self and went and got it. And hey, yeah, that was my deer. My deer was delicious.
That's an interesting perspective.
but the truth is, when you take something and you give it to somebody else with an expanded palate, that's when the judgment comes of, hey, what's better? We grew up catfishing, and catfish, farm catfish, these were dug holes and they put catfish in them, and you could go fish and you could catch big catfish. But people would say, well, that's a catfish. Have you ever been to the ocean? And stuff like that. So
I only eat ocean fish. I don't eat freshwater fish.
Catfish are pretty good. As long as
I
they're
like 'em.
fresh, it's hard to beat.
I mean, I like food. You feed me, you win my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think venison's a lot. It's one of those things. It's like it's important that somebody knows how to cook with it. But it's generally the stuff I've had is pretty good. I've heard that the cougar's really good. The mountain lion is really good. I really want to try some of that. Like we have some of those around here.
Hey, Rogue, you know what's so funny, Rogue? I've eaten
What?
venison and it was good, right? I wasn't gonna deny it, but the minute you tell me it's venison, I can't eat it. I just gotta stop eating it. Like, don't tell me it's venison until I'm done eating it, and be like, "Oh, you ate venison," because in my head, I'm eating Bambi, and I can't get out of my head. So, like, when you make venison wraps,
Get you a pet one and meet it, and then you won't have as much respect for them. Like it really, it's a good way to break you of the sort of.
well, I mean, I eat chickens, but I had pigeons before. I mean, it's for me, it's a weird thing about deer.
Chickens are little evil dinosaurs. Like, who would ever feel bad about eating a chicken?
I'm just saying, I just can't. For me, it's Bambi. It's like, poor Bambi, and I don't even like Bambi. I'm not even a Bambi fan.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Hey, that is so much the way food goes. If your religion or your view of a specific animal has you partial to it, then you'll be like, once you know what it is, like a gator or a cow, certain things will turn you off to it, or the part of the body, like liver.
Or not, she said.
But
I mean, I grew up, growing beef. Like that's the main, growing cattle, and I've raised up calves from, a bottle like that. Like that's why I got audited when I was 6.
But
that was my business back then. But the thing is like the way I was like honestly kind of look at it, and a lot of people I know is like, if you've got a pet calf, it's like if you've ever seen one, like a steer live for a couple years, like they get it, like they just don't like cows are designed to live, quite a few years, but a lot of them aren't. Like their lives aren't great, and it's like somebody's gonna eat it. It's like, so our policy is usually like if it's a pet, it's like, well, it's our pet, so somebody's got to eat it, so we will, instead of letting some stranger eat it.
For instance, my wife is my wife is a picky bitch, so she won't eat a cheeseburger because it's beef, but she'll eat a bison burger. She'll eat she'll eat a ground chicken burger, and at the end of the day, you can literally lie to somebody as long as it's delicious.
Yeah,
you can turn crickets into cover them in chocolate and call it candy. They won't know.
Well, it's always like a disconnect
the minute
argument
that you
to me.
know,
Like the people that
have
have
it
hangups
changes the experience.
Yes.
To me, it's like the people that have hangups are ones that see
don't
the
tell me at
animals
all.
from a distance. It's the people that like actually are around the animals and care for them up close. Like they usually don't have that hang up. It's always the people that see them from a distance and have this sort of like disconnected, this imaginary, idealized version of some sort of animal in their head. It seems to me like.
But that's also a step of the culinary process of taking something, whatever it is that you have, and making it delicious. The moment you say you like it, that was good, you can feed me anytime. And then I tell you, okay, that was, a cricket, or that was a liver, or that was an alligator, or that was a bunny rabbit, or that was a turtle, or whatever your hangups are. You just said it was delicious. So, you would think, in my mind, that could be like an eye-opening thing, that you've been wrong this whole time, that you can't just eat anything. You can 100% eat anything.
Now, with that being said, I eat a lot of things, Track, and I try new things. I'm all about trying, but I just can't fuck with deer. I don't know what it is. It's like I have that certain, like your wife has that beef thing. I just can't fuck with venison. It ain't that it's bad. Venison's good. I've eaten it. It's good. Just don't tell me it's venison, bro.
I have
Well,
a
she
hard
also
time
says
eating anything
she
that
also
isn't beef, just because
the
beef is the most delicious and like the most ideal food.
Yes,
she,
that is weird.
she also says no to tomatoes. So there's weird people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't do well with nightshades, and so I mean, tomatoes and peppers. I do think that's true. Some people handle them better than others.
It's all about how you disguise it. That's the culinary art of it.
Yeah, but tomatoes aren't necessary. Meat is, and
Well,
beef is, like I said, superior.
Sustenance is necessary. The fact that you said no because of where it came from, that's denial of possibility of survival.
Yeah, people saying no for silly reasons is I agree.
Yeah. But I'm not disagreeing. It's like, hey, if you don't like something, just make sure you have a really good reason for not liking it.
Now listen, don't get me wrong. If I'm in the
like
woods
all kinds of
dying,
things, like that.
if I'm in the woods dying, I'm gonna get me some deer. I'm gonna eat me some deer. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm trying to survive. So in that, I'm eating MREs. The MREs are worse than deer, than venison. So I would eat venison. If I had to survive, that's a different choice. I don't eat wild fish. Only saltwater. I don't eat freshwater fish. Only saltwater fish. But if I had to live, I'd be fishing bluegill and eating whatever I got to fish. You know what I'm saying? Just to survive. I just can't. Unless I had to live, bro. Unless I had to live,
Like
I'm doing
MREs,
it.
I gotta tell you, venison makes really good jerky. Like that's a choice way to.
They do it here all the time. People hunt all the time. They hunt, and when they kill their deer, they show their tag, their bucks, and then I got venison sausage, I got venison stuff, and I'm like, and they all know I don't eat venison. So their joke is this, like, I got beef jerky. I'm like, okay, cool, I eat it. Oh, that was venison. I'm like, bro, like, you know what? It was good. I ate it, but I ain't eating no more. That makes sense. Like I'm not gonna eat no more. Not that it wasn't good. I would like some more, but because it says venison, I can't have no more. It's weird. I don't know. It's a mental thing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I know I'm weird, but maybe I'm really weird. I don't know.
A lot of people have interesting hangups about stuff like that. I find it, like I said, I find it interesting.
But if I had to live, I would totally eat it without even question.
Yeah, like I don't really prefer black licorice.
Oh, that's the worst, dog.
Hey, but if you say
that's like NyQuil, dog. It's like NyQuil.
we're all eating black licorice, and this is the only candy we have. It's the only sugar.
Oh, dude, I'll be eating pork. I'll probably eating pine needles. I don't know, dog.
This is the only sugar that we have for our, dessert. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna eat that. Give me that sugar, bro.
And your track. One time I was in the field, bro, for 30 days, right? We was in the field, boom. And we came back, we fucking humped down to the beach. We had Humvees and they had fucking veal, which is like a fucking patty of bullshit, whatever. But I don't like Mountain Dew. I hate Mountain Dew. And I never tried. I tried it one time and I'm like, it's like 30 days in the field, bro. You would think, I'm getting back out. We got a hot meal. We got veal, some potatoes, some veggies. And we got Mountain Dew as a drink, as a soda, or we got water from the water buffalo. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try Mountain Dew. And bro, even then, bro, after being in the field for 30 days without having none of that bullshit, I still don't like Mountain Dew, dog. And I tried just to have it, and I'm like, I just can't do it. There's certain tastes in your buds that you have, or things that you feel.
I'm very particular.
You just can't have it no more. I never tried it. I won't do it. I'm sorry. I'd rather have water.
I mean, I'm kind of like that with my alcohol. I stick to my Coors Light, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't argue with free. So it's like, hey, You brought tequila, you brought these seltzers, and you brought some IPAs, and you're all willing to share with me, but none of them are Coors Light. Am I just gonna be like, nah? I'll just sit here and
Nah,
my
but I tell you what though, I tell you what you will do. You'll probably go with the tequila. You'll go with the carb list, like whatever White Claws. You're not doing that bullshit, and you go to the other shit. So those will be your options.
I'm gonna go with each and everybody that's giving me something for free. How about that?
I get Coors Light when it's what's free in the ice chest.
Go free 99, dog. Free 99. You said.
Bud Light, Coors Light, all those. I'm like, if it's all that's in the ice chest, then I'm thirsty. All right, sure, but
How much that shit cost? Free 99. I'll have some.
I don't like brown people. I don't like pale people. I don't like women. I don't like country folk. I don't like city folk. But guess what? You guys come around, all of a sudden I got some friends. I ain't turning none of y'all down.
free beer builds a lot of bridges. Yep.
all of a sudden I got teammates.
He's like, yo, we got teammates, yo. He said, I'm off the bench. We got a team.
Hey, you got a little brother? Put him at third base. We got a team here. Hey, you got a sister? Just tell her to tie her hair back. We're playing ball today.
Okay. I can throw fastballs. That's all I can do. But I'm pretty accurate with my one pitch I can do.
We used to play stickball back in the days, man. We'd be in the projects. We'd be inside between apartments. And we have a broomstick with a little tennis ball. Like, we didn't even have baseballs and baseball bats or gloves.
I've definitely played, baseball with cow pies and whatever we could find in the back of the pickup or in the jump.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. I have snowboarded. So we had these like cheap snowboards, me and my cousins, and we have there's a couple of big sand hills and we'd use them on those, right? And then, but we would have them. We would just carry them around in the back of the pickup, right? And we'd be helping our parents work cattle somewhere, and there'd be like a pile of manure next to the corrals, and it'd be like, all right, break time, and we're like, all right, get the snowboards, and we'd like snowboard down the giant manure piles, and whatever we could find that you could slide down, we're there.
It's just
that was the good times.
Saying no is okay. It really is.
It is okay.
But
you're gonna say
it's
no
also
to like snowboarding down a manure pile? Like, is that what you're saying?
Nah, fuck that. Fuck them kids. Let them go on goddamn hill. I say fuck all them kids. They all gotta learn, man. We all had to learn the hard way ourselves out in the street.
We did fine. We didn't. It was not a failure. It was
let them fucking learn. Let them learn. Fuck the kids.
We had a good time. Like, so
we didn't have manure piles to roll down.
Anything with any elevation that we could get a snowboard on and our little cheap snowboards on and slide down, we're there. Like, we jumped off, jumping out of trees and jumping off people's sheds was, our idea of fun.
Exactly. There you go, Jeff. We didn't have manure. We had people, we had speed bumps, and we had our own ramps, and we ran into shit and ran into buildings. We didn't give a shit. And when you went home with a broken arm, you didn't tell your mom nothing because your ass beat.
For breaking your arm?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, no, we always told. They were constantly taking us to the hospital.
Bro, we didn't go to the hospital for shit, Jeff. When I was a kid, bro, you had to be literally bleeding out. If your arm was fucking broken, we'll give you a sling. We'll make you a sling. You keep your arm here. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Here's some pills. Suck it up. Hospitals they weren't a no. They weren't a no. They were just more like they cost money. They were too expensive.
Yeah, everybody I knew, there was one kid in the family that was the one that somehow was always breaking things. And it's not like we weren't all doing the same stuff. It's just like in my family, it's my little brother. Like, he's the one that had stitches, and he was always busting his head open. And I'm like, I did lots of crazy stuff, but I never got hurt. And I was running around with my cousins, and it's like the middle boy, he was always the one that got hurt. Although the oldest, he one time broke his leg, I think, on a 4-wheeler. But
look at my pinky, Jeff.
I was like, as long as you weren't the one that got hurt, it was
What's your
good.
story?
Did you have pinky, Jeff?
Uh-huh.
Look at this pinky. You see how fucked up it is? How bigger it is?
Yeah.
That big lump. My fucking finger got broke when I was like 12 years old. A kid ran over a bicycle playing marbles, and my finger was fucking broken. And my mom was like, "You're not going to the hospital." And she just put a clothespin on it on the bottom with some
And
tape.
now you have a fucked up thumb the rest of
And
your
now
life.
I got a permanent fucked up pinky, dude. Look at it. It's like fucked up for like over fucking 30 years, 40 years.
My cousin, like one of my oldest cousins, he like cut the end of his finger off like in a tractor because he like raised the, like change the height on the steering wheel in like a John Deere tractor. And there's a spot where you can get your finger in it, and he like cut the tip of his finger off. He's little. I have all crooked fingers. For a long time, I had one fingernail that was not like kind of like whitened. It's smashed.
I feel your
And
pain, girl. I feel your pain.
But
I feel your pain, girl.
I'm like, okay,
I smashed mine in screen doors a few
This
times.
was a
in
dirt
Boston,
bike with a stuck throttle. Like it bent that one sideways a little bit. Like
Oh my god, dude!
It would turn black. And then
So
it would
that was
peel off.
crooked. This one is from. I honestly think this one's crooked from shooting my Desert Eagle when I had for so much because it's like I have small hands and like the trigger guard on it waxed like beats down on this finger. It's a little bit. It's like
I think a lot of this.
Yeah, I finally the last finger I had left, like I was working some cattle in a little like calf shoot, and the calf hit my finger against it, and I was kind of I was kind of in charge and of getting hurt so nobody else had to, and it cut kind of like the corner of my finger off, but most of it grew back.
I think a lot of this.
Most of my fingers are a little off kilter these days.
Ain't no wrong with that.
Oh no. They still work pretty much. I have a
exactly.
There's like
A
one
lot
of them
of
like I've had a couple that like they'll get kind of jammed.
Hang on,
and like
Track's trying to get in. Go
prone
ahead, Track.
to aching. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of this touches on the title, and that is the victimhood mentality. And it's like nobody told us to go and do the things that we did, but we had to own it. We had to own it back then. Just like, hey, you got fired from your job. You don't blow up and take it out on them. You just go find another damn job. You find something else to do. You solve problems. Yeah, it hurts now. Getting told to kick rocks, it hurts. But
suck it up, Buttercup.
But that's what we did because we were scared to go home and be like, I'm bleeding from my elbow. I almost got hit by a car. I jumped from a tree to another tree and the branch broke and I fell 40 feet out of the sky.
And I broke 4 ribs. Like you went home like normal, dude.
No, that's what the adults were for when shit like this happened. Then they.
I feel like we were just expected not to get hurt, but to just like but also to be able to pull off. Like never, don't ask for help unless you really, 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 literally can't pull it off. Like some of the stuff that me and my little brother loaded in the back of a pickup from like took off of a broke implement and like loaded in the back of the pickup like it was one of we call them treaders. It was going in the back of a plow. It's about 6 feet long and about a 2 foot around, and it's just this big spiky long thing, right? That like conditions the ground behind the plow. And what the bearings were out, and anyway, we like freaking loaded that thing. Weighs like 800 pounds. We like loaded it in the back of a pickup and didn't die.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like when we used to come home,
like, you just do it. You just.
And we said like, hey, this, that, or the other happened. We were met with stories from our elders, and that was our band-aid. Was you didn't do what I did back in the war, yada yada yada. We would just like tape each other together, and now we got enough legs to make it back, type of shit. Whereas,
yeah, I was kind of a smart aleck. Like I was explaining this to someone earlier. They'd come with this like spit in one hand and wish in the other and see what you get. And I would always, anything like a lot of those things. I was like, well, but that's irrelevant to this point. So,
right. But now it's like you send you send your youngster to school.
I would never do that if I had one. And
a huge scrape. It's scabbed over and all this stuff, and then they're out there, they've gotten over it. But out there on the playground, things happen, and then it breaks open, and then it's like they want to interrogate parents about, hey, where did this thing come from? And it's like, yeah, kids fall down.
Yeah, I
And it's
remember
like,
kind of noticing like when some of that became more prevalent, because like I'm not exactly highly aware of, you know, like all the like I frequently since I'm looking like I get cuts and scrapes. I'm like, I don't even know where it happened. I didn't notice it for 2 days, you know, and I would run around and but yeah, I remember when, you know, I started realizing, and then I fought for fun, right? Like I've been doing martial arts since I was a
2 hour
little kid. So
deadline
it's like,
to the deadline.
so I always had scrapes and scratches and bruises, and at some point I realized I'm like, there's people that are gonna look at me and like, you know, have issues. Like they're gonna wonder things, and I'm like, it's strange.
Trump gave Iran until 2 more hours to open up the strait, or they're going to have hell to pay. And then, but I saw where Pakistan is trying to negotiate a 2-week extension if they agree to open the strait. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know why they're doing this last minute. I guess that's what deadlines are for.
Oh, it's a goddamn draft. Everything, that's all deadlines. Hey, 8 o'clock at 7:59, someone's gonna call. Okay, I surrender. Wait, what the fuck? Why you give someone even a deadline? Fuck that shit. Listen, bitch, we're gonna come for your ass, and you either turn around or not. Okay, cool. I'm going that way. Fuck it. Won't even tell them shit. We don't even need strategy. What's a strategy? You give them a strategy. I'm gonna be there at 8 o'clock in the afternoon, bitch. That's dumb.
I mean, what I see is it's like it's basically like the sort of nice option, right? It's the attempt to like not just go straight for obliteration, right? It's like we could have it, and like people going, "Oh, is he just want to bomb a trouble?" I'm like, if that was the point, if that was the intent, we would have done it in a day, right? It's like the point appears to be to minimize the damage because otherwise we wouldn't be dragging it out, right? Like that's the whole point of this whole dragging out thing is to basically see how far we have to go and not go any further. And like, well, I think that's pretty clearly what's going on, you know, like is the basic.
Contradictory to what he said before which was, you know, the element of surprise. Like you don't tweet out what you're going to do.
Right.
Well,
you do if you want them to, if you think they're going to cape, right? If you're like, are you too stupid to, you know, leverage? Like if you're trying to prevent more damage, then you know. Well,
he said it
straight position. You offer to allow them to surrender rather than just beating them to a pulp.
I mean, he said it straight up to the Prime Minister of Japan. He was like, "Oh, if anybody knows about surprise." Japan does. Why didn't you tell us about Pearl Harbor?
I love how, and then like shortly after that, you know, then we got Grok Translate, and now and the Japanese and the American on X are all like buddies and trading barbecue recipes now. Yeah. Jeff wasn't aware of the, you know, huge like paradigm shift of now the auto translate feature on X when I talked to him yesterday. It's like it's a whole new world over there.
It's all good. The things we used to do, and now we get to watch other people do them. It doesn't make it any better.
Like slide down shit.
Bro, you fucking hit me with that fucking line, dick.
Well, people are gonna die, one way or the other.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Goddamn line.
Military actions or war.
Circumstances are rarely ideal.
I support our military 100%. I never would doubt them, but I feel sometimes we abuse power. In this situation, I'm not sure what's going on. We're trying to get power for whatever reason it is. I think it's wrong, but whatever.
I don't think we're trying to neutralize a threat.
Yeah, I think
no, they're not a fucking threat, dude. They're not a threat. They're not a fucking threat.
One analysis that I've done some looking into, and I have my own opinions, but one of the
I'm not a politician. I hate politics.
I've been terrorizing the world for almost 50 years.
But if you look at it from a
military
aspect, right? You look at it and you look at North Korea, and basically they used conventional warfare, you know, strength to sort of threaten to, like, you know, shoot off rockets at South Korea in order to ward off anybody from bugging them when they were developing their nuclear program. There's some would look at, you know, some of the conditions in Iran that they were more or less following a similar
I don't know.
playbook.
I don't know enough of the topic to talk about it and put my input onto it. I just believe
Well, how
what
are
I
you
just stated
so
before.
convinced? So
I
you're
mean,
just
I
randomly choosing to
do you
believe.
think we would be better, like in general, things would be better if Iran had nukes?
No. Okay, first
I
of all,
look-
none of us should have nukes. The fact that we're trying to be out here and be like, oh,
Especially
you
terrorists.
can't have a nuke, you can't have a nuke, but we can have nukes. That's fucked up. We're the goddamn bullies. Again, I respect goddamn military. I love my military 100%, but I
I
think
don't
we're
have a
bullying
problem
shit
being on top.
or a certain way. You can't go to another country and tell me, you know what? Fuck you. You can't do that. I told you so. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I
maybe
mean,
this
but
is
you don't
I'm
want
okay.
nukes in the hands of suicidal, like death cult type regimes.
Why?
Especially.
But why?
I trust
But why?
God
Okay,
more
okay,
than
hold up. But why do you say they're suicidal? Because society has told us that, or we live this way all this time. Maybe someone's different. I don't fucking know.
I mean,
because
just
they actually
generally
have
observing
Cuba used to
the,
be closed. Cuba used to be closed to Fidel Castro. Now it's open. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's happening.
The people
Maybe
that
this-
flew the planes into the Twin Towers were suicidal. Like this.
I understand. I don't know. I don't know enough of the situation, bro. I don't know.
Maybe
Iran was not. Iran was
you
not
have
in
to make some
part
inferences
of
from the
9/11.
general behavior of those.
I'm not saying it
of,
was. Have
you
you
know,
looked
those who
into
are in
Iran's
control of
history
Iran
with
or have
terrorism
been.
and all the things they've done to us?
I know about
Maybe
Iran's history.
Maybe there's a possibility that nuclear power in the Middle East would question their production of oil, which would reduce their production in oil because they could power themselves
No, but
nuclearly.
we're not talking about nuclear power. There's a difference. We're talking about
No, I know exactly what the question is, but I'm saying maybe the possibility is that nuclear power in the Middle East, where the majority of the oil comes from, would question the oil production and therefore make it a scarcity and make the price go ridiculous, and then it would force a alternative power source for almost everything.
Didn't they
Because the
say that
price-
fucking Saddam Hussein had fucking nuclear weapons, and we went there to Iraq and we did all this goddamn shit. We were there for 15 fucking 20 fucking years, and nobody ever found goddamn nuclear weapons.
They didn't say nukes. They said MEP was a mass destruction. Like it was more, like I always assumed, read that to be more like chemical weapons type sorts of things.
Okay. So that to me, it's a nuke, a chemical weapon. Okay. Now I could be wrong, but they didn't find any of that. Now I'm not saying what they're doing now is right, or that they don't have nukes in Iran. Maybe they fucking do. I don't know.
No,
but
they
in
would
my
get
previous
nukes,
history, what I've seen in my history, this is what's happened. So to me, it's another goddamn war to cover something up that's going on in the backdrop that we don't know about.
But you just said you don't know anything about it, so this is just some
another way
random
I look at it
opinion
is
that
it's
you
like
cooked
I
up.
haven't.
No, I don't know about it
haven't
right
seen
now,
Trump be
Jeff. I'll talk about me going to Iraq.
Just blowing lives and resources on a lot of arbitrary things. So it's like, in general, he seems to be pretty judicious with his use of force and not use that as a first resort. So I'm like, at a certain point, like that, I don't have the intel. So, but I can see reasons why you would want to neutralize Iran now and not later. And
But-
there are reasons that make sense.
And maybe it does make sense. I don't know. I don't know them though. But to me, the government's always doing something that is portraying it this way to us, the society.
Oh yeah.
And in the backdrop, they're doing something that's a whole
You
other
you don't trust the government. It doesn't even
I don't
really
trust
matter.
the
what
government
story
either,
is.
but I just have to look at things. I try to look at things as what they are, what I do know,
I trust
what you
our
can find out.
I don't
And
think
it's like
we're
it's not
We would be
completely
wasting our effort if
unreasonable
it was for a
like
reason.
to think that there was a good reason to neutralize Iran given the path they seem to have been on.
It's also been speculated that any use of nuclear force by the United States on Iran would give Russia an excuse for using nuclear force in the Ukraine.
Well,
That was-
Iran, we don't need to use nuclear force on them. Like, there's no.
Okay, here, hold on. That's a good example track. Russians have nuclear warheads. Why are we fucking with Russians then? Why is Iran such a big deal that they have nuclear weapons?
Are
They were
you
focusing on
said
that.
you
They
were
have a
familiar
totally
with
different
Iran's
culture.
history?
They have a totally different like if you look at the motivations and the claimed like intentions of the government in control of Iran, it's very different than Russia or the United States, which is kind of like right, like it's very not pro-social in a sort of global sense,
Yeah, and
right?
then there's all the terrorism.
It's death cult type stuff. It's like they like I would if you take them at their word at what they say they would like to do to the U.S. or Russia or anyone else. If you
Yeah, I
believe
believe
what they
them.
say about themselves, then you do not want them to have a nuke because they don't care if they destroy the world.
Well, I also believe you have to
Right.
commit a crime to be dealt with. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
Well, they've committed plenty of
But
crimes,
they're-
but if
yeah.
they're making themselves more of a threat, they don't have to commit a crime for us to want to neutralize that.
But I believe you also have a right to defend yourself at a certain point, right? Like it's on the global stage. It's more like that's where
Which is
I
maybe
would
what you're saying with the whole deadline thing. That's why they're leaving now. Hey, I'm giving you a deadline. If you don't want to be in the
Right.
area, get the fuck out of here. At 8
Right.
o'clock, you guys can leave. It's like a damn tornado coming in or a hurricane. You got
Right.
24
That's-
hours of coming in.
Like,
Hurricane
like we're
Epic
not.
Fury.
Yeah, we're being very kind about you know how slow we're taking this and how we're kind of like, giving them chances to be like, do you surrender yet? Okay, let me hit
that's
you
what-
again in the face. Do you give up now? Right? Like instead of just
Look
like
at
beating
Jeff
them into the
laughing.
ground unconscious. Right? It's the
that's
nice
why
thing
I
to
said
do.
it- That's why I said it the way that I said it, because the United States acts as a nation. However, like Phil said, 20 years of the war on terrorism, Iraq didn't do anything to the United States. Afghanistan did not do anything to the United States. It was extremist organizations that maybe harbored damn near anywhere. They float like a swarm of bees. You squash this one, well, we've moved over here. We squash that
You
one.
had the sort of insurgent, the more guerrilla type things. I mean,
So-
Iran is, I think, different in that way. Like they're, basically the people with
was the same
on
thing,
the same
though.
motivations are in charge. They're actually like running Iran, right? They're not the insurgency in Iran. They're the controlling governmental body.
Well, it's like the goddamn cartel Mexico. It's the same concept. They own the government, but they're not doing the same
Yeah,
shit. So the people
We
who
took care
run
of
that
them.
country are doing the same concept, but
The
there's insurgents.
cartel doesn't want to kill us all, right? The cartel doesn't want our very existence to not.
And we did
no
help
longer
Mexico
be-
go after the cartel, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
rule out future attempts.
No,
to-
you know what?
He declared them a
United States
terrorist
will never
organization.
fucking attack Mexico. You know why? Because they have the fucking
I
best
never said
border
we-
for South America. They would never do that shit.
Do what? I
Attack
never said
Mexico.
we attacked Mexico. I said we helped Mexico go after the cartels.
No,
we
we
would assist
fucking don't.
Mexico if they.
Check the news, dude. It was in the news a few months ago. Do you
That's
don't
the
remember
news they're giving
chaos
you. We don't fucking do that shit. The cartel had Mexico on a lockdown, and we won't be able to do shit about it. Don't think for a minute, Jeff. The cartel run the goddamn country.
But like that, if the cartel, basically doesn't become,
Telling you what
minimizes
happened
how
a
much
few
trouble
months
it is,
ago in
right? Like if it
Mexico, in case
stays
you missed it in the news, which it sounds like you did.
below a
Okay,
certain level,
well,
then
like
they'll
Track
survive.
said,
But the cartel's
you knock one
interested
head
in
off,
survival.
another guy comes back up. And never go away. The
Yeah, that's nice. Like
cartel,
the
the
cartel's
cartel.
a survival-based organization, so they can be reasoned with in a weird way. Like if you sort of look at it from a distance.
Yes,
Which I would
I understand what you're
contrast with
stating now.
Iran, right? Where Iran, the current Islamic Republic regime in Iran, they state that they have no interest in being reasonable. They have no interest in anyone else continuing to exist, and they would happily wipe us all off the face of the earth. So if you take them at their word and their behavior, they can't be reasoned with. Like again,
Well, we would say
cartel
the
may be
same
terrible,
thing though
but
in
they can be
return.
reasoned with.
We would say the same thing in
Well,
return. If it was us as Americans, and you threaten us, you know what? Fuck you, we ain't leaving nowhere. Come attack us. So we would say the same goddamn
No, but they were
concept.
saying this before
We're not
we
the
attacked them.
aggressor.
Right? Like
So-
that's the thing is they've been saying death to America for years, and they're like would like love to shoot a nuke at us. So it's like it's not like we attacked them and then they started hating us. They were saying that they would like us all dead.
Okay,
before that.
here. One question,
So
real
that-
quick. Do you believe all four of us that a nuclear warhead fired from over the Atlantic Ocean to cross the Atlantic to get to us wouldn't get shot down? Do you believe that?
I think that if they managed to hit anywhere with a nuke, it would be a catastrophe. And they might. I mean, if they
Even in
couldn't
the
get it
air.
over here,
Even in
they
the
could
air.
get it somewhere. But that's just it. They might not launch it straight at us, but it does like that's not that wouldn't be necessary to cause catastrophe and devastation and just mess everything up.
Phil, their capability to launch something wouldn't even come close to our capability of defending it.
Yes. So like that's why we're so cocky and so bullying in the extent. Again, I love our military. I am prior military, but at the same time, we can say what the fuck we want to say to any goddamn country and be like, go ahead, say what you want to do. Launch your shit. But like she said it, like Rogue said, you know what? Fuck America. I'm gonna shoot my shit to London instead, or to Africa. Or fucking
Israel or Saudi Arabia or
anywhere else.
right? Right, like
Yes.
any of that would cause catastrophe. Like
Yes, yes.
Like that's the thing from they're the little guy, and the thing is when you're the underdog little guy and you basically have no survival interest.
That's the crazy part about it. I didn't think about that part. That's just
Yeah, and
crazy.
that's called. It doesn't take much to knock the dominoes over, right? You pull the right Jenga piece. I mean, it's I've played this game before in other places. It's like if you pull the right piece, you can cause a whole bunch of shit to happen, right? And if you're that's all you have to do. It's not about winning; it's about destroying, right? And if all you care about is destruction, it's not hard to make that happen, right? It's
that's a big part of North Korean offensive is, you know, hey, North Korea is testing their launches, and their launches always fail. They always fail. Right. They always fall short. They always don't do anything. But they're not testing their actual capabilities. I don't believe. I believe
they know what's going on.
But like North Korea, I don't think they care. Like North Korea doesn't want to just destroy.
Oh, what are we with Iran? That's the problem. Y'all, everyone thinks, oh, we're cool. Like, oh, we hit Iran up. With them. We're down with them.
Right?
I believe.
But again, I think to a certain extent they can be reasoned with. Like their motivations are relatively standard human behaviors, you know, magnified to the nation state.
I believe when something is recognized to have an actual trajectory, then it will be dealt with. But the moment we see, it's like, oh, yeah, their trajectory failed. Why show your cards? Don't show your cards and shoot down their failures. Just let them fail. Because they're probably trying you. It's a bluff every single time because the moment it has trajectory, it's dealt with.
They're testing shit, bro.
People don't see that.
It's just tiring to constantly monitor the little bluffy, puffy, you know, upstart.
Well, that's the problem when you're in America. You're going to tell everybody else.
And sometimes you just got to go slap them and be like, sit down and shut up. And like, I have other things to tend to. Like, it's exhausting and draining to like try to like pay attention to you and your little like puffy, you know.
What do you think, Jeff? What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, go ahead.
About the whole conversation.
What's the question? What do I think about what specifically?
The conversation, bro.
What specifically about the conversation? Everybody knows my position on Iran and all the other stuff. I've talked about it forever. I tried to talk about it with you just now. What specifically do you want to know what I think on? I've given my thoughts about a lot of things.
I'm sorry, I don't know your whole feel about the whole thing. My bad. That it bothered you.
No, it doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with us being over there. I think we're doing the right thing. I think we're neutralizing a threat, a long-term threat, a threat that's been a threat for a long time and had the potential to become an even bigger threat.
How long?
Since 1979, when the religious fundamentalists took over Iran.
So we waited fucking 50 years almost. To now feel like now they're a fucking threat. They're so major, and then now we want to do it. We went through fucking 20 presidents,
nobody had the balls to do
whatever it is.
They're increasing their threat. They're doing several things to increase themselves as a threat. It's not like they're the same threat they've always been.
Why wouldn't they threat when that
judgment call of neutralizing them now before they got more powerful, or waiting till they got more powerful and it would be harder to neutralize them.
Right.
So it was a window of opportunity. I don't have a problem that we took it.
or the year before.
All right.
I was thinking about another thing and then I forgot
That's
what
what
it
I
was.
think about it.
Stay ADD, yo. Stay ADD.
Yeah.
This may be hard to,
It's slippery little ideas, slippery thoughts.
this may be hard to hear, but when it's your generation and it's your turn and you choose to do something about it and be part of that team, you know, be 100%. But my time has passed, and whatever happens to our nation, I'm not a youngster anymore. I can't play the fucking game. I can't step up and do something
You're killing
about
me,
it.
dog. You're killing me right now. Oh.
I can't be part of that team anymore. I have to be part of this team here with my family, and whatever happens, happens. And I wish the best for those who do stand up for their generation and who do love their country.
0.4%. 0.4%.
It's hey, it's who does it, because this is a different age, so we may not need as many numbers. Drone warfare, the bombs that they're talking about, the Air Force is more important. We got people in space that might just be doing some, targeting right about now as they come around the side of the moon. You never know. You never know what we have. But it's not us anymore. It's not us. It's not us, brother. It's not us. And there's not shit
It's
we
them.
can do about it.
It's them. That's a problem, though, Track. Them as our replacements, the Thundercats that are coming in now, these Thundercats, they're not the same, bro. And maybe, and to me, war has changed in itself from what it was. So, I mean, now they're doing drones. They're doing just literally, you can sit in a goddamn computer and just operate something and just blow some shit up without going into battle, bro. Imagine that. Yo, Track, imagine a guy getting fucking medals, dude, for sitting on a goddamn recliner like Jeff is right now, controlling the drone. You know what I'm saying? And getting medals, dog.
Well, he's not going to get a Purple Heart, I'll tell you that much.
Well, no shit, but you know what I mean?
And he's not going to get a combat action badge, and he's not going to get that, and the other.
Will give it to them,
I
bro.
should get a
They will.
heart from just the YouTube wars that I'm a veteran of.
But it is the truth. It is the truth of the evolution. Because people used to come at each other with fists,
bayonet.
and that's all they had. And then they adopted swords. And then next thing you know, you got these pea shooter guns where you could actually hit somebody and they could still live.
Sidearms, and you got fucking knives, dude. K-bars. You got all kind of shit.
And then we got mortars and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden we got airplanes and with tanks.
We got tanks.
And then you get lasers and lightsabers and drones, and all of a sudden nobody has to show up to fight anymore except for the third world country that doesn't fucking have them.
Yes.
I'm just saying that it's the evolution. So if we wanted it, I honestly believe the United States could militarily take over the entire world. A lot of lives would be lost. A lot of lives. But what's the point? Can't we just
we're not doing
it and our resources and make deals
we shouldn't do that.
You got rice, you got oil, you got grass.
It's all trade together. Like the old times. This is all trade together. Just trade. Everybody trade and be good. No tariffs. None of this bullshit. Everybody be equal and be your own goddamn normal world.
Yeah, but
what time was that?
And that's never happened that I'm aware of. So, that would be the dream future times. There is no great old times that things were like that.
And we still argue about the elite.
In America, you know what happened in America with the natives and the goddamn pilgrims, and they all fucking goddamn got along, and then all of a sudden the goddamn bullshit happened, and then it was a battle. We used to trade all the time, like people traded everywhere.
I don't think it was that simple, but
Wasn't.
you know, you had different
Well,
tribes
we
that
don't
had
know.
different attitudes.
It's a
I'm
goddamn
from the
book
part of
telling
the
us
world
that
where they
shit.
were pretty ornery, you know.
Go ahead,
The-
Track. I'm
the-
sorry, buddy. Man,
the-
cut you off, buddy, man.
The majority of international history has been the gangster lifestyle. I don't like that deal. Make a better deal. No, this is the
To
deal.
approve
Oh,
it, but peace is not the default state, and people assume it to be. Like that does
Oh,
not
oh.
appear to be the case. Peace
I
appears
don't
to be the
you don't like the
exception
deal.
rather than the rule.
I'm
So you have
No,
to
it
work
should be.
for
You
it.
know what it should be? Don't fuck with me. I won't fuck with you. That's how it should be. Like we do in the street.
Yeah,
Leave
it
me
pretty
alone.
much
I'll
is
leave
like
you
that.
alone. The problem is this. The problem is this. You could be another country and have a goddamn battle with another country, and we got to get our goddamn something involved. Somehow, some way, here comes America or fucking some other shit coming in. Oh, NATO, we're part of this shit. Hey,
Yeah, we have
got your
treaties
back.
and with certain countries and we have allies, but that's not what's
Well, that's
happening
the
in this.
problem. That's the problem. It should be your own battle. You started that shit. Hey,
Well, that's
Jeff,
your
if
opinion
you
of how
went
it
to a
should be.
dude,
That's
Jeff,
not how it is, and that's not how other countries decide to do it.
Well, there's
We
but
decided to
speculation
Jeff,
team up
if
that
and
you
form
out, Jeff,
alliances.
and you was
consider
dumb,
exiting NATO.
arguing with a guy, and you wanted to fight, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let Jeff rock on. Go ahead, Jeff, rock on, bro. You want to fight the guy? Let him fight. And then you get your ass beat. I ain't gonna jump in. I'm gonna pick you up. Like,
Don't
hey, you
expect
wanted
you
to
to
do
jump
that
in.
battle.
You don't have
It
to
should be
jump
between
in.
y'all.
But
It shouldn't be like, oh, hold on a minute. Let's get America involved. My big brother, hey, come in here.
Yeah, you're
If you would
describing
die
how
down.
you think it should be, and I'm just telling you that's not how it is. Other people thought differently, so you're at the mercy of what they decided to do. You're not in a position to create the world like you think it should be.
I'm not saying that's how the world is. It used to be that way, though.
Okay, well that's just an opinion.
You're right.
Well,
It's an
hey,
opinion. You're absolutely right.
I
I'd
might
be
make
curious
it.
to like what point in time you think that was most accurate of a like at what point in time was it more like what you described?
To me, 50s, 60s.
I mean,
We still had
with the
alliances and
Korean War
treaties and
going on
NATO
at that
and
point in
all that other
time,
stuff.
basically.
We did have a war going on. I mean, every year, every generation, we have a war going on.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see how it was particularly different.
Well, again, it's my view and my opinion on it.
I mean, you might think it was more in that direction. I could go with something like that, but as far as it
That,
being like
well, that's what I mean by that.
maybe
You asked a
slightly
question when you
more
thought
in
it
that
was.
direction, you could make that argument, but it being like definitively closer to that than where we are now, I think that would be hard to argue.
I just believe war now is too advanced that it's not even war what it used to be. War before, people would die, and I don't believe in war like that. Send our kids into war to die off. But war nowadays is not even about that. It's about missiles and just like our planes aren't even like F-15s. There's no Top Guns. We don't got Top Guns anymore.
I apologize.
We still have guns with wings strapped
There's
on.
no Maverick, no boosters.
Because they're always gonna like retire the what is it the A10, and they again like put the A10s out there, and they're like, yeah, we you can't do without the A10s. They're so wonderful.
I apologize, but so much of it still comes down to the fundamentals, which have been described in the Art of War, and that is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so when you're looking at bigger deals, it'd be like, hey, how do I do what I want to do? Well, I find out who's providing for, and I provide better. But I don't, I'm not going to step foot in this thing. And that's the Russia-Ukraine thing. It's like, well, the United States is not going to step in. But, you sell guns to somebody, and then on the other side, you sell guns to somebody else and be like, yeah, I will help this tiny little place protect itself against you, who is my enemy. But at the same time, I'm going to provide guns against for the people who are fighting against you, and that is your enemy. So, hey, let's just all win our little battles together as these superpowers that we are.
You know what's so funny? At the end of the day, Americans, we're so worried about a nuclear warhead coming towards us and trying to bomb us. You put 5 EMPs. You put them in New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Chicago, our main ports. Shut down everything with an EMP by itself without no goddamn nuclear warhead radiation. It'll cause pandemic and chaos in the United States of America by itself without no nuclear warheads. And we're so worried about kind of burning down bridges in Iran, and they can have little cell towers here in the United States. You know what? Okay, then when you bomb us, we're putting up EMPs.
Why haven't they done it yet?
Well, they could. I'm just saying.
My idea is that
and you know what? You know what, Jeff? The EMPs themselves make the folks go crazy. Oh my God, we can't communicate. Our cell phones don't work. When 9/11 happened, none of your phones worked. Remember that shit? You had a cell phone? They were all shut down.
I didn't have a cell phone. That was before the cell
part of my.
Go ahead, track.
Yeah, and this is just it's just my thought process is that threaten certain things, and then what was their response? Like, take all the civilians and put them on the bridges. Everybody go out and protest, so that way it becomes a threat to the innocent people. However, what that does is it gets all the innocent people concentrated in a certain place. And then you have other targets that all those people evacuated, and now they're on a bridge, or now they're surrounding this, that, or the other. They evacuated those areas, and now you can hit your actual hard targets without the collateral.
Right.
What would be the presumed thought process motivation? Would it be to defend the bridges? Is that why you put the civilians on it? If you're the current leadership in Iran?
Well, that was the threat. Originally, was to burn, destroy all the bridges, to not make basically ever have nothing. Essentially,
in my opinion,
I'm asking, why would Iran? What would be the thought process motivation for Iran to put the civilians on the bridges? I'm just curious.
That would be their, protection against, crimes against humanity.
Yes.
But I don't think crimes against humanity, that doesn't appear to be their main thoughts. Again, if you look at Iran and their behavior and their statements and you attempt to interpret them as sort of a functional.
You don't kill civilians that aren't doing nothing. That's part of law.
You don't care about civilians. So
I will land this plane. If you threaten those places and you fill them with civilians, it's not a deterrent against what was said. However, it opens up hard targets that aren't the bridge. Put all those innocent people on the bridge. Guess what? The bridge wasn't the target. But we needed everybody that you got
out of the area
so we could hit hard targets without killing all these innocent people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain circumstance where that makes sense. I think my trouble, if I was thinking about it, would be expecting Iran to actually behave in such a sort of thoughtful way as to put the civilians on the bridge. Is it Iran as a country, or is it Iran as a government? Iran as a government is who we're fighting, right?
Okay, so the civilians who are purely Iranians were just chilling there. They had to die then?
A lot of the Iranians are basically sort of they would like to be rid of the yoke of the government, right? There seems to be, there's some that are loyalists that are I'm all for what we've got going now, and then there's some that are basically
majority. It's 2/3. Right? We looked up the numbers the other day.
Yeah, the majority,
it's an overwhelming majority.
Yeah, are just sort of under the oppression of this regime currently. So they would like the regime to go. because the regime likes to kill them. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, the regime that if we're fighting the regime in power right now, basically there's reason to believe that they kill more civilians than we do. Like
They really are the bad guys. So people that haven't looked
they do
into
appear
it
to be
may not
pretty much bad
realize
guys
how awful they are.
and unreasonable. Again, I think that's a huge factor, right? Like, there is no indication that they can be reasoned with in sort of a normal fashion, right? Like we were talking earlier, like the cartel, like there's a whole problem, but they're not just like bonkers, right? Like they can be reasoned with. They have understandable, comparable motives. They have reason to want to be left alone, to not, survival.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They're putting fentanyl in our country every goddamn day. Every minute we speak, they're putting fentanyl in our country. The cartel. They don't give a fuck. They're not using bombs.
Yeah, but they have a survival instinct.
No, for their own selves, they have a survival instinct for their own selves, right? Like they have.
But
they're
killing us another way, secretly, without you seeing it. They're killing us with goddamn
disregard. No, they have a huge disregard for others' lives and to a large extent their own. But they're not just like
that's a terrorist attack.
To destroy the world, right? Like again, it's I'm using the cartel because they're so like. They are problematic and they are like doing lots of like they're not good. They're not highly reasonable.
The United States can't fight them. They cannot fight
to Iran,
goddamn cartel. Why don't they fight them?
Compared to Iran, I think I could reason with the cartel, but like based on what I know and their actions they've taken and the statements they've made, I think if I had to go, is there a possibility I could reason with the cartel? Yes, possibly. Is there a possibility I could reason with Iran? Not based on any of the demonstrated evidence.
My view of the cartel in Iran is this. The cartel are doing the same thing that Iran is trying to threaten to kill us with, a nuclear weapon. They're doing it as we speak. Every minute we speak, they're putting drugs in our country, killing us.
Yeah, no, I don't
we've been going after
with you fundamentally.
We're not going after the cartel, Jeff. No, we're not.
He designated him an official terrorist organization.
The fuck we're not.
Helped Mexico take some of them out. We got one of their main guys.
No, we won't do. We never will do. We never will.
When we are.
They show you that in the news.
Compare killing
it's all in the
you
goddamn
by
news.
not,
You guys are all
There's no point in having this conversation if the news is not even real.
Right, but
the
just
news ain't
compare
real,
here the idea of, say, the cartel killing us out of negligence, right? Like out of not caring, right? Like they don't.
The cartel are not developing a nuclear weapon,
right? Whereas Iran, they
That's
do
my
care,
metaphor.
and their preference would be that
their
we
nuclear
were not.
weapon is fentanyl.
Right, but there's like there's a difference, functionally, cognitively, if I'm imagining sort of the reasonableness of someone who is destroying you because they don't care, it's just happening and they're doing it for other reasons because money or whatever, but they don't, like the point isn't to kill you, that's just the effect. Versus the point is to kill you by whatever effect, like that is the effect, the desired effect. That is the statements that the leadership of Iran has made. Their desired effect is for all of us to be dead. By whatever means, right?
This is why I hate politics.
May be doing it well, but that isn't necessarily it's not perfectly clear that is their ideal intended effect. It's just, it happens to be an effect, right? Like there's a difference in those two thought processes, even as similar as they are. That's why I picked the cartel, right? Because it demonstrates that difference between not caring if you live or die versus definitely caring if you live or die, and die is what we care that happens, right? Like those are two different mindsets.
But they're just as equal terrorists, man. They're just as equal.
They're causing as much destruction, but their sort of rationality, their reasonableness is distinctly different.
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna agree to
disagree. One is a
disagree.
big danger, and one is a suicidal death cult sort of situation, right? Like
which
one
again, yes, I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
One is rationally destroying you, right? The cartel is not behaving irrationally. Like they're doing quite well. Like they seem to be quite rational.
They behave very rationally in the country that you don't see.
Right. They're behaving very rationally.
RW, I never said Pakistan has the ability to. I said they are attempting to. They are attempting to mediate and broker some kind of negotiation. It's something they're attempting. They're trying to do it. They've requested to Trump that he extend the deadline. That's all I said. I didn't say they had some magical power or ability to force either side to a ceasefire. I don't know where you got that from.
Oh shit! God damn! Shots fired! Blah 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 blah.
And I would also like to add that, like, you know, you have the title about the victim mentality. Whatever happens, like, I am not a victim of this. I'm okay with my existence. I am okay with where I live and how I live it. And what if somebody on the other side of the world, you know, receives the wrath of the United States because of their government and their actions? I don't want to hear a bunch of wham wham wham. You should have took over your own government before they begged for it. How about that?
How about that? Catch me outside. How about
Well,
that?
you know what? That's a good place to end it because I got to wrap up anyway.
Oh my God, you motherfucker! All right, well, I'll be the first to be out. Pieces, deuces. Shout out Rogue. Shout out Track. Love you, dog. Salute and a fuck you, dude. It's salute,
To
brother,
me?
man.
Did you really
No,
want to just?
the
Okay.
track. The track. It's my way of saying goodbye. I love you. It's a fuck
Oh,
you.
okay.
That's how I do
Why
it.
didn't I get one?
There you go. Fuck you.
Back at you.
Here, you got a peace sign. You got a peace sign with 2 W's, dog. Fuck you too, Jeff.
Yeah, I love each and every one of you. Take care of each other. Good conversation. Our minds melding. And I'll see you next time. God bless.
All right. Take care.
Until later, everybody.
Hey, Shift. I was going to stop by your. Are you still going? I was hoping to stop by today, but I guess I went on here. Well, anyway, good to see you. Thank you for the vibes. They came at just the right time. We're wrapping up. We're going to reset. We got an hour and 15 minutes before the deadline to see what happens in Iran. I may or may not be out later. Oh, yeah, I'm still live. I never know how long these things are going to go when I open them. It really depends on who shows up and what the conversation's about and what direction it takes. But my dinner's ready. I got to go eat, take a break. I may be back out later tonight and check the news in an hour, about an hour and a half, and we can see what happened with the deadline. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. And do it again.